Big Papa Pump, J.M. Holland,
Eat a dick.
and Uncle Zach Mazalash, and the myth, Mike Faurbino.
That's right. Nobody messes with the samurai.
Like I told the guy over the weekend, the only reason Canada is called Canada is because it's cold as fuck and nobody wants to go there. If it was like beautiful and was beaches, it'd be called America.
If we make that kind of money, we just can't spend it on that.
That was one of the biggest eye-openers with the post office. I was like, no, this isn't a joke. It is dogs attacking fucking mailman all day. Because there's fucking stupid people who don't know how to raise their dogs, let alone their children.
Oh, God,
I have an opinion. You know what I mean? People don't like it. So they're coming on there like saying like I ain't shit and I'm a casual and all this. It's like, dude, you guys are like people that don't even train. It's like, dude, you guys don't know who you're talking to.
Now we go podcast. Yo, what up? It's the Now We Go podcast. Big Uncle Zach here. I'm chilling in the Now We Go studio. Mike Fauerbach on the ones and twos. And then we got a bunch of special guests, a special evening podcast. We got professional MMA fighter, Lehigh Valley native, Zach Makovsky in the house.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Were you practicing that? Yeah, so...
Did it not work?
No, that was perfect, man. That was perfect. Great intro.
Am I blowing it? I'm blowing it.
We also got finishers. Was that lockdown number 11?
12.
12. EB finishers OT champ David Weintraub. Weintraub. Damn it. I always fuck that up. But yeah, man, dude. And we also have over on the other side, Preet.
Your boy.
And we cannot forget now the host of the Train or Don't podcast, JM.
Yo, what up?
Holler.
What's good, everybody?
What's up? I suck at the intros, but everyone has way more accolades, and I could have went over all them. But yeah, you guys know. Everybody knows who's who in this piece. But so anyways, this is I don't even know what number this is, but 36. Usually do this Mondays, so we wanted to get one in at night so we can get Zach on the podcast. And then Dave, what were you doing? Did you just training at the school and then?
Yeah. I texted Jam that I was gonna come down earlier.
Oh, nice.
He said to stick around.
Sweet. Yeah. So guys got a couple of beers. What are you drinking over there, Preet? What is that?
This is a Juice Bomb IPA. I got a text from Mr. Makovsky on the way over here to grab a good IPA for him, so
nice.
That's what I chose. Hopefully it stands up.
Is that good? Is that a good IPA?
I mean, I didn't tell him this one specifically, but he picked a good one. You're
nice.
Lucky.
What's up with Seven Sirens? Is that actually a beer? Is that a beer?
Yeah, they're a brewery company. They make their own beer and everything. They have the whole thing downstairs.
Because you guys have been going there. I have yet to go there yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool spot. They got the food
I like
trucks
it.
outside.
Nice. Yeah. And what kind of beers? Is it just whatever Seven Sirens makes or whatever?
Yeah, it's it's like Bethlehem Brew Works.
Or what's the other place?
Except better.
Yeah. So, oh shit! Shots fired. But Brewworks is a spot that always held it down for us. But so what do we got going on this weekend? Is a big UFC. Wanted to make sure we talked about this because Conor McGregor people really like him, like over the top like him, or they're just super triggered by just the word Conor McGregor. They're like, oh, I fucking hate that guy. But he's fighting Poirier. I'm really excited about that one. Like, I always feel like there's a different kind of energy when Conor fights. I like his style. I think he has a cool style. I like the kicks. I like the punches and everything. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he's going to win. I would imagine. What do you think, Zach? I suck at picking fights, but.
I usually am also pretty bad at picking fights. But, I agree with you. Although I'm not like on either one of those spectrums. I like Conor.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about him or anything. But they've both. I think Poirier clearly has improved a lot. Conor's weird because we've seen so little of him.
Yeah.
Over the years.
He looks jacked though.
Yeah. He fights very sporadically and then went to boxing for a while. But I mean, I think just the way they clash, I'm leaning pretty heavily towards McGregor. I'll probably be writing a little piece about it.
Nice.
For the fight site. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, share that. Remember, tag us in that. So if you just tag me in everything, like I'll just keep sharing shit. You know what I mean? So that way we can throw that up so people can read that stuff. Because guys at the school should be reading stuff like this. Yesterday we had a school, young Thomas trying to fight in a kickboxing fight down in Tennessee, and I was like, bro, just we're talking to him. So I want guys to like start really looking into stuff. So guys like Thomas and the other guys at the school, like artists and all them, I'm sure would be interested, and like they're really interested in just not just MMA, but they want to learn about it and shit. So who better to learn about it from you? That's someone who's training with them and shit. So. But that fight is, dude, I can't believe fucking. Did you see that thing I posted up on my Instagram? Any guys see that?
Yeah.
Where McGregor gets
Comes out of the car.
Yeah, and the guy's like, "Go to McGregor." He's in there and he's carrying the baby. Did you see that? He's carrying his kid, and he's got no shirt on. He's got some super flamboyant pants. He has no shirt on, a mask, and there's people in like fucking. Did you see that?
Yeah.
There's people in like
on the embedded, the first embedded
like
they dropped.
full space suits, like literally full space suits. Me and JM, when we come
Hazmat
back from
suits.
Texas, hazmat suits. We saw a woman. Remember, we saw that woman with a baby, and she had like a beekeeper hat on and all that shit. It was the most.
The guy at Sheets just gave me shit.
Well,
Really?
I mean, if any of them catch it, they're off the card, right? So like, they have to take as many precautions as possible.
Yeah, well-
Although, to be fair, if Conor caught it, they would
Probably let him fight.
put that under the rug quick.
Yeah, I think they would probably hide that. I
The
mean,
moneymaker right there.
wait, what happened? I want to hear from JM. What happened at Sheets?
Hold on. No, you good?
Go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right, hold on. Nothing. We went to Sheets, and then the guy asked, like, I was paying for my shit, and he's like, "We have masks over there," because I just had like a, like a helmet bag, like bag that your motorcycle helmet goes in. That's all I had on me, so I just put that around my face. I had one hand to like pay him with. He's like asking me for ID and shit because I'm buying Copenhagen, and I'm like, I just look like an ass. He's like, "We have masks over there." I'm like, all right, can I pay for my shit and get out of here or what? Like, I was like, he was right with me. Yeah, I don't know. We want to get into we want to get political and talk about Corona and shit.
I think that would be bad for our
Yeah,
friendship.
shit's fake, dude.
I want to keep talking about the fights though, because there's a lot of interesting stuff with that one. On that one, like
Wait, there's who else is fighting?
Chandler Hooker.
Yeah.
yeah,
Chandler
that should be a
Hooker.
good fight. Yeah.
That's on Wednesday. Right?
Hooker's tall. He's a big
That's the
dude.
co-main to Conor.
Yeah, why? Yeah, so like Dan Hooker's got an interesting style because he's just such a big, like lanky,
Wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, he's just long as shit, right?
I wouldn't say that. I would say he's more stocky. He has that
Dan
wrestler
Hooker.
build. Or
Is
Dan
he
Hooker.
long?
Yeah, Dan
Hooker?
Hooker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Chandler has that like stocky.
Oh, yeah,
wrestler
yeah.
build,
Yeah, Chandler. Is this Chandler's first fight in UFC?
Yes.
You think so, right? Yeah, all right. So that should be interesting.
He's the fittest guy ever.
yeah, he's
He
super
looks like CrossFit 2020 world champ.
CrossFit Joe.
He can fight.
over here.
Obviously, he can fight. I know.
Yeah, the Bellator guys that come over have been doing good, right? I mean, the guys who are in the top, and then some of the guys who left UFC, aren't they the champs over there? There's only like one dude that's really that started in Bellator, Lima, right? All the other guys are
From UFC that went to Bellator.
yeah. And then what about what's his
Yoel
name
Romero
from
just
TriStar?
got cut.
Rory McDonald.
Yeah. Is he fighting? What's up with him?
He signed with PFL now, so he's
Oh,
waiting
okay.
for PFL to start their season. But he was
Nice. Yeah.
number one in the UFC outside the champion, and then was champ in Bellator for a while.
Damn, I wish he was back in UFC.
$1 million
just so I
bucks,
could
you win
fight those
PFL,
guys.
right?
Yeah, PFL's giving away cash, son.
Is that
Yeah.
what Pettis just went?
Oh, okay, nice. Pettis went there too. I didn't
He signed
realize.
with PFL.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't realize that. I miss a lot of stuff, but I didn't realize that. Gaethje got knocked out by Poirier. I didn't realize that either. I was like, wait, what? I was sitting on the couch. I was like,
Khabib almost got guillotined by him.
I mean, he was in a guillotine.
Right.
I mean, dude, he would have to really sleep him with that shit. You ain't gonna tap.
He almost.
Yeah.
I wish I got. I almost.
I mean, it's still, and then I saw that we were talking about it earlier too. McGregor is just hanging out on a yacht outside of the.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unprecedented. Even Tyson didn't hang out on yachts outside of shit,
I think he was training in Dubai, and then probably just like this is total speculation. Probably just rented a yacht and took it over.
Yeah.
To Abu
Yeah, it's
Dhabi.
probably not his yacht, but I mean, maybe
It could
it's
be his
You
yacht.
guys are haters, dude.
What about
this is not
Talking about his yacht
There's
being
no hate.
rented. Jones that shit, dude. Let him have it, bro.
Let him have it.
You think he took it from Ireland all the way?
Yo, yeah, I said, I'm like, yo, that he's fucking sailed there, dude. Like,
I don't think
train
that-
the whole
I
time
don't
on
think
a
that's the
boat.
case.
Yeah.
Wait, I think he was also. I saw the one embedded thing or whatever where it was training in like Portugal or whatever. It seemed like he had a whole crew.
He's doing
in
kicks
Portugal,
with Cristiano Ronaldo and shit.
breaking boards and stuff, dude. See, just first you start making fun of breaking boards, they bring it back.
Yep. Makovsky, you never broke boards.
Dude, I couldn't break a board. I'd break my hand or elbow. Whatever.
How did you learn to overcome mental obstacles and like break mental barriers and shit?
As a kid, he wrestled, dude.
if you couldn't break boards, how'd you learn that?
Obviously, if you don't break boards, you can never learn that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm still stuck. Obviously,
You gotta keep it back to the old school, man.
I'm waiting for you
Always.
guys to help me break boards at the school.
Dude, imagine
Hey
if
man,
we,
you know your technique's really good. I think like if you just learn how to snap your punches a little better, you'll go right through it.
imagine if we busted
I'm
boards
fucking
out.
with, dude. I'm fucking. You know.
Imagine if we busted boards out and we just started having like grown men like kicking boards
Yeah.
and shit like that. Like
Hey.
kids, like
We can make good money, make everyone buy their wood and shit.
Yeah,
but
yeah. You have to buy
You
wood.
gotta buy it from our guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta buy it from our guy.
We have a wood guy.
We buying your own wood.
Yeah, because they used to get pissed because the Fortes is Marty Fortes used to go to Home Depot and buy like just long ass wood and then cut it himself, and there'd be like huge like knots in the middle, and the kids would be blasting. They're all like smashing your hand off and stuff.
Hype up the board breaking, get them all hyped up, have them all get really good at board breaking, and then JM comes in and says, "Boards don't hit back,"
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and then all their
dude,
training has just fallen.
I'm teaching Benjamin how to do dim max and shit all day, like the bottom brick.
Deft touch.
What about
Deft
well,
touch.
I could see like doing the hammer fist for like Big Ryan or something if he's just like, you know what I mean, like Donkey Kong punching a guy, like that'd be good for breaking boards.
You failed your black belt test for not breaking all your boards, right?
Yeah, I got my
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I killed it. I did dude, you just have to know 15 self-defense moves that were like staged. So like one time the guy would come at you with a headlock, and a lot of time the fucking guy would mess up, and then he'd totally screw you for the move. Remember the self-defense moves? The guy would grab you in a he would come up like the
Full Nelson.
Yeah, there was a full Nelson. There's the headlock.
Hey.
There's the stop, and then you get their arm, and there was all types of weird ones. But the other guy would fuck it up, and he would screw it up for me all the time.
You guys ever do self defense jujitsu?
Yeah.
See, you glad you know it?
I didn't. I trained a whole bunch of self defense like as a teenager. Anyway, before, so like there's some useful stuff there to know. I guess I'm glad I know.
What, like Gracie stuff, or the
I have learned a little bit of like the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu self-defense, but that's like after I'd already been doing martial arts for a long time,
Oh, okay.
and then I got into Jiu-Jitsu afterwards.
Yeah.
So like, in general, like I don't know. I'm glad I have like self-defense training and like an understanding of different scenarios and stuff. But really, if you know how to fight, you can defend yourself.
yeah, you fought MMA too.
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
I had 12 amateur MMA fights.
Nice. Yeah, so that's big. Yeah, I mean, dude, like what was the one? What's the one school that we were just talking about it last time? Like, there's schools that open up near us, man, and like they don't even have like you look at them, and you're like, they don't even have like a, they have no path in what they're doing. Like there are some self-defense schools, like maybe like no one's obviously they're not fighters or competitors or whatever, but at least they're like practicing real moves, like doing triangles and shit. Like some schools are just like, you know, you open up a martial arts school. I mean, he's selling his main thing. I think that guy's selling, food supply and stuff like
Survival
that. Yeah,
equipment.
survival equipment. So that's cool. Hey, man, you gotta put cash in your pocket somehow, man. What else?
How do you guys feel about like the more traditional martial arts and their effectiveness in general? Like I don't know if you guys talked about this. JM's doing Subsistema on occasion for
Yeah.
you know. So how do you feel about the more traditional martial arts as far as they are effective in real
I think
situations?
I think you have to know enough to know what you're trying to pull. Like you have to recognize what's useful in kind of a vast network of information that's mostly not useful in a lot of those arts. But there is like useful stuff a lot of the time. There's something worthwhile a lot of the time. Like I've done Tai Chi, which is like you're not gonna do Tai Chi and get good at fighting. You're just not. But like it is very closely related to martial arts, and like is helpful for certain aspects of martial arts, improving like mobility and recovery and all kinds of stuff. So like I think a lot of these traditional martial arts can be useful, but not if you're starting out in them most of the time.
Yeah, that's huge. Science.
Preet, what's your opinion on the traditional martial arts?
Yes, Preet. This is very important. Preet,
My opinion,
please.
I think it's important. Start kids in traditional martial arts.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm
Teaches them.
dude. I
self-control.
bought a gun the other day, and it was like a 45 Colt, and I guess like it's like way like it's from like the 1800s or some shit, but it's like a new school rifle. I just like old shit. I enjoy shit like that, like all the shit like makes me feel young, makes me feel like I'm learning something. Like I don't know.
Well, that's why that's the same reason why I kind of dig Conor McGregor, is because when he throws a spinning hook kick. Yeah. And it's like a really nice, like it's like you're like, damn, dude, I like that. I like that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's spinning back kick someone in the rib cage.
It's very rare that people take the stuff like even like I teach like I was like showing Benjamin up blocks. Like, bro, that is a fucking legit block. Like it's a karate block. Like, just like one of those up blocks.
So why has at least like in MMA, why is it heavily gravitated towards Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and
Because
wrestling
the
and
rules
boxing?
do that.
Why? What?
Well, I think, the rules definitely do that. And I think that's just what everybody does. People just copy. And then also to get good at all them other things, like if you're using like Tai Chi or you're going to try to use like karate, you got to really put some time into that shit. And
Machida.
people just don't want to put time into shit. That's what it is. People, even in jiu-jitsu class, I see it. I'm like, all right, we're drilling omoplatas. Guys do 2 of them. They're like, all right, I'm done. I know an omoplata. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, dude, you're just never going to get fucking good at it.
You see shit all the time. Like I think John Jones does a lot of old school trap fighting, like Nick Diaz or the Nate now. Like he does a lot of old school.
Like I like the one where he would be so far away, he'd grab your wrist and then just fucking hit you with an elbow. Shit like that.
Dude, like even the Sistema shit that everyone says is ridiculous. Like, dude, I learned a lot from Arseny. Like, you know what I mean? He shows me some cool shit. I'm like, damn, like, and maybe like he shows me one way, which is like the Sistema way. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of make this kind of work for MMA or sport or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I know what he's going with it, Because like some guys are of the mind, like they're like Krav Maga guys, like just attack the testicles. You know what I mean? Just
Eyeballs,
attack his
balls, eyeballs, balls.
But like a sport guy's never gonna go there in his brain. Just like a jiu-jitsu guy will never go to like a place where like, oh, the guy can hit me while I'm doing jiu-jitsu. Like that guy will never go to that place. So he's never there. So he doesn't know a lot of shit, like, and then the traditional martial arts cover all that. Cause it was originally for like killing people in self-defense. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people haven't taken a lot of shit that's traditional to a high level. There's a lot of fakers out there.
Yeah. So this is my opinion on the situation. I think probably every one of these more traditional martial arts have a lot of value that they could potentially offer, but it's just not probably the best use of your time. The reason the sport arts, I think, have come to the forefront is because they are constantly pressure tested in competition. So you find out what works. You find out, not that those other things can't work, but they're not pressure tested in the same way that all the sport arts are. There's constant competition, constant evolution of the game, right? Like, like if you take jiu-jitsu from 10 years ago compared to jiu-jitsu today, it's a whole different thing because of the sport competition aspect. It is evolving it at a way faster rate than all these traditional arts that don't compete at the same level. If they did, I think it would potentially be a game changer. There would be a lot of different things that could maybe come to the forefront, but because they're not pressure tested, no one can see the value in it yet. And I think rightfully so at this time, it's just not the most effective use of your time.
We need data.
For the techniques, right?
There's also like in non-competitive martial arts and like traditional martial arts, there's this whole element of like, as opposed to taking what you learn out into a competitive setting, testing it, finding the deficiencies and improving them. There's this sort of aspect of like, you don't necessarily question your teachers and it's all about respect and you have to do things in the traditional way. And that all of that comes from essentially protecting high-ranking people with low-level fighting ability in terms of like people's perceptions. And there's a huge amount of that in martial arts. Like a lot of that is a lot of arts, you'd see enormous development from a lot of different places if people were less worried about hurting their teachers' feelings.
and money.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly. But yeah, dude, and also people just don't want to. People just won't put time into something like, you know, karate is one especially. The guys who have used karate in MMA have done a really good job of it as of late. You know, Stephen Thompson, Machida, you know, Pettis, guys are using Taekwondo kicks and shit.
Scoggins.
McGregor, yeah, all these guys, right?
McGregor,
Every fight
Gunnar
you watch,
Nelson.
you could look up like an old form and be like, oh, that's what they were going for.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everyone rips on kata, but everyone will go crazy about yoga. It's just the same shit. It's the same shit. It's just one's kind of more.
But that's what I mean, though, guys. Just how many people are going to take time away from wrestling, take time away from boxing, take time away from lifting and running and doing all the shit to go and practice kicks? Like you could see fucking some dudes like Rumble, you know, DC throwing a front kick and shit. Like some guys just are just like, fuck it, I'm never going to kick. I'm never going to learn that shit. They won't put any time into any of it. It takes someone who's kind of crazy to go, hey, yeah, or just to a certain point, like maybe a GSP, you know, who's like so good at things where they'll put time into spinning back kicks. I mean, he came from karate anyways, but they'll put time into like jiu-jitsu. I mean, look at how many dudes don't give a fuck about jiu-jitsu in MMA, where they're just like, fuck it, I don't need that shit. How many MMA guys are just complete garbage in jiu-jitsu? Like if they just rolled, they'd get mobbed by any obviously just a jiu-jitsu guy. But I mean, what do you think? Like, how many guys do you think, you know, they don't need to put the time in as jiu-jitsu as much because they're winning in other ways. So they're like, well, why would I waste time rolling all this time if I'm never gonna, you know, some guys never even like Robbie Lawler. How much jiu-jitsu you think that guy practiced? He never attempted a submission ever in all his fights. He didn't even attempt a submission. You know, how much do you think that guy rolled? I mean, never really got choked out, though, really? Maybe once.
I think he's done a fair amount, but he's funneled it in a way specific to how he wants to fight in MMA,
Right.
which is, I think, what almost all the MMA guys do. But like almost all the MMA guys couldn't compete with the sport BJJ guys. In BJJ,
Yeah.
it's just obvious. But
I was just talking about it today, though. What about
there's just not enough time to be great at everything.
Yeah.
You have to divide your time and be
Some
jack
guys
of all
are,
trades.
what about like Shogun? Like, you ever see like when he get like knocked down and he'd like go for like a leg lock, or he pull some deep half to like get up or something? Like, some dudes just are so predictable because they don't even have any moves. They have zero moves.
Yeah,
like,
his game hasn't really, his jiu-jitsu game, probably his striking game too, hasn't really changed.
right,
from
same thing.
10
since
years
back,
ago.
yeah.
But I think most people
At least he tried, though.
keep the same basic framework and only add little things around the edges.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see. Did you guys watch any of that embedded shit? I didn't see McGregor doing any grappling. I mean, obviously it's just a 5-minute clip or whatever the fuck, but I didn't see him doing. I didn't see anybody. It looked like he had all striking people. I mean, I'm sure that's the plan, is KO him in a minute or whatever he says. But I mean, I don't know how much is he grappling. He's got to be doing I mean,
Is Dylan still his coach?
I don't know.
I mean, that's his main grappling coach.
That's what you chime in with.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what you chime in with.
That's
Dylan
his head-
Dennis is cool.
That's his head grappling
Well,
coach.
I didn't
isn't
see
it?
him
So that
there.
dude
I
did
know
it.
that I didn't notice him there. So,
I
you know,
thought his head coach, John Kavanaugh or whatever, was his.
he's really good at
jiu-jitsu
jiu-jitsu too, though,
instructor, yeah.
right? Yeah, he's done a bunch of tournaments and shit and all types of stuff. And then you read his book, right? Didn't he own like or he started an MMA promotion too, right?
Yeah, he needed to get his guys fights, so he started a promotion to get his guys fights. Otherwise, how are you gonna get people good? They got to fight.
Kind of
You
like
know?
the finishers
Pressure
as
test.
well.
You can do the whole, king of the demo. You can do that. You can do demos at malls and shit, and get your upper belts. Like, I got my gi
What
on and shit.
is there a lot more fights on that card too? Obviously, there's got to be a bunch.
We didn't even discuss Hooker and Chandler. We got distracted.
Chandler's I don't like Chandler, but I know he's good. I'm just not. He's not my type of guy. You know.
What are you trying to say? I feel like I'm someone like
He
Chandler.
could win. Hey, no, I like you because I've met you. I just don't. From what I've seen
we both
from
came
Chandler,
from Bellator.
I just see that So Right commercial too many times. You know what I mean? He's just
Hey, we all like So Right.
Yeah, bro. So right.
yeah. I
So
get
good.
it. You know, you guys are
Shout out to my new So Right sponsor.
so as is tight. Are you sponsored by So Right?
No, they sent me a free So right, but
Oh,
I highly recommend it.
yeah, they are really good though. That thing is money.
It actually really does help me a lot. I'm
All
a
right,
fan.
guys. There's-
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just pumped up about UFC. We've been training, so I busted the UFC dude, or not the UFC. I busted the landlord guy or realtor guy. So hopefully we should have the lease tomorrow. So we are all super excited to move our space into a way bigger space. How was class tonight? Packed as shit or what?
There was a decent amount of people. It was a
Yeah,
good class.
a lot of people been training out here, man. People been
Rubber
training.
guard.
It's a lot of stuff still. Is stuff still shut down in like Philadelphia, or gym shut in Philly yet, or?
Yeah, well, I'm in New York. Shit is shut down.
Oh
still
yeah,
since
New
March,
York. I
but
know that.
Philly is shut down right now too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Damn, dude. I know Canada is right. I mean, you've been training. Obviously, people have been training at TriStar for a long time in Montreal, right? And so now but that's all shut down, right? Like Canada hasn't been doing shit for months, right?
Yeah, I think there's very limited places that are allowed to be open, and they have a curfew from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. That
Damn.
people
But are they
allowed.
letting like pro guys train, or just everybody bounced out of there? Everybody just bounced out of there.
No comment.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, don't let him.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
No, I mean like the government. I mean, because like they have for a while over here, they're like, oh yeah, well everything's got to be shut down, but like if you're a professional, y'all can train. So like the UFC thing was open, the fucking Eagles are playing, like so it really.
As,
doesn't
as far as I
fucking
know,
shut down.
as far as I know, in Canada there were professional athlete exemptions, but not only for baseball and hockey. That's what I heard.
Because Canada's crazy. The reason, one of the other reasons why I asked, because remember they were calling the cops on each other about the tournaments and stuff.
That's in Quebec. Like
That's what
there's
I'm
no
saying.
jiu-jitsu tournaments are not allowed there.
Yeah,
and,
a lot
I
of
think
people don't know
amateur
that.
MMA they have to do on the Indian reservation and stuff.
Because, and what was the story on that? People kept calling the cops on each other and promoters or something.
I
like
honestly
that,
don't
right?
know the details well enough to.
It was like
give
some
it to you,
weird
but it was
situation. Yeah,
something along those lines where
And he's-
Sounds Canadian.
they just got sick of dealing with it, so they're just like, you know what? No more jujitsu. That fucking blows, man. You know, that's kind of stupid.
I told Dave to move here. I'm like, yo, you should move here. He lives in New York City.
Yeah, New York is, man, that's a tough one too, man. Any big cities.
But
right
I think
now.
there's a guy from TriStar on the McGregor card.
Yeah.
Andrew Sanchez.
Oh, okay, nice.
So he must have been obviously training,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
prepping,
yeah.
and Faraz is out with him in Abu Dhabi. So
Where's GSP? Is he gonna fight again? Dude, I would love to see GSP
He has hair.
fight again, yeah.
He
I saw
does have
that,
hair.
yeah. GSP versus fucking Khabib.
GSP.
That's the fight right
destroys
there.
him.
He destroys Khabib, you think? I mean,
My
Khabib.
opinion.
Yeah.
Khabib's the GOAT, dude. He's the greatest of all time.
John Jones is the GOAT. Get it right.
How do you think that one goes out? What do you think of GSP fought Khabib?
John Anik
I think
told
it's a
me
super
that.
interesting,
Yeah.
interesting fight because I think
John Anik.
John Anik told me that Khabib was the best ever.
He tells you whoever the main event for that.
I just
night
listen to
is.
what John Anik tells me.
All right, man.
I think
What
George-
about Mike Bloomberg or
I
whatever?
think George would take
Goldberg.
take Khabib down for sure.
Damn.
And how it goes from there is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
I think. And I think Khabib has the best top game, best cage game of anyone I've ever seen. So I don't know, but George is great at controlling distance, great at taking you down when you try to close the gap on him.
Damn, that would be such an
I think
insane
it's
fight.
a very interesting style
Yeah.
matchup.
If they'd make weight, I mean, I could see, damn, GSP taking him down. That would be
Is
dude, the place
GSP's
would go
guard
nuts.
like next level or what?
He uses his guard to get up most of the time.
Well, yeah,
he doesn't
I know
play
what I'm
like
saying,
a.
like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
but
He
I
ain't
bet,
got no
crazy if you
J.M.
like
Holland,
Gogo
Zach
Khabib.
Maslany guard.
relax, relax.
no, I bet
Nope.
relax.
I bet GSP's guard is probably better than
George is a
like-
top. George is a top player.
Yeah, obviously, but I'm sure he's got a decent guard.
Like imagine
comparable.
holding GSP down.
Yeah.
How hard that would be.
No, he's got good.
You gotta like
off balances
impose
to get
guard.
ups. And
Yeah,
he'll,
like, I
he'll,
could-
he'll submit you if you overcommit to holding him. But
I could see him doing
Yeah.
like flower sweeps and shit like that. I could see him doing that shit.
he's
Like
very
just
diligent.
classic.
He's one of the most disciplined guys I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude. What about what was the one? What was Diaz saying to him or something the whole time? And he had him in like turtle.
That was just Granby. That
And
was
he
just
kept
A
trying to
warm-ups,
Granby, and he just kept going. He would just every time Diaz
hop over the
Granby,
side.
he would jump to the other side.
It was just like it was the
Just kept
old
punching
school
him.
like grab the wrist roll.
yeah,
like
yeah.
day one.
What we practiced.
That's Diaz, dude. That's Diaz to the T. They're all like old school
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You know, it works. though.
Granby.
It works.
That's what I said. Like, when have you ever seen a Diaz pass a guard? I don't think I've ever seen it.
Right, because
ever.
they're standing up, boxing your face. in.
But they only catch subs in transition. They don't really sweep people or
Yeah.
No, they
catch you.
usually
They catch you in a
don't, yeah.
guillotine or triangle when you take them down. Otherwise,
Yeah, we're gonna box.
Yeah, they just keep coming forward until you take them down.
Yeah,
right?
take me down. I mean, it works.
Imagine if the Diaz brothers knew rubber guard. That'd be insane.
They do. They use shit.
I mean, they did kind of. Yeah.
I mean, Nick Diaz has a Gogo Plata
That's right,
finish
that's true,
on.
yeah.
They use rubber guard.
Yeah.
Not everyone's gonna be like, oh, Eddie Bravo's my master and do it, but you know, like
Takanori
you
Gomi,
still
that was
do
a
it.
great
Yeah,
fight.
that was a
That was
sick
an
Gogo
awesome fight.
Plata. Then he's got, you just gotta have the attributes to do something like that.
I'm not a big fan of the Diaz's. either.
Well, yeah, I know you're. You know.
Why is that?
Oh, what? Finish that. What?
Yeah, you know.
Why is
No,
that?
no. What was? What,
It's
what do we know?
fine. You could be a fan of whoever you want.
What do we know? What do we know?
That what?
You said, yeah, you know. Yeah, you know.
Well, we know you're not because we've had this conversation a bunch of times. We have, you know, this is not the first time. Are you a fan of anyone, Dave? Is that like a thing? You
He
do?
switches the conversation.
See, I did that.
I'm a fan of some MMA fighters. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try not to be fans of guys.
How about the Diaz's?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't fight MMA anymore, so like I can be a fan. I'm not really a fan of any
Yeah.
grapplers because like
Exactly.
I want to get my hands
Exactly.
On it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't. Yeah.
I'm not
I
a
don't-
fan of no man. I'm not Stan. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I
a
heard
weird.
You love Gordon Ryan.
Stop. Stop. But yeah, I don't know. Like who's a MMA fight? You know, I asked Thomas, you know, that kid that wants to fight. Thomas, he's like, I like Al Iaquinta. I'm like, really? Like you like Al Iaquinta? That's so strange. That
Al's
that's
actually
so
cool.
It's
cool.
an interesting
I met him
pick.
once.
It's an interesting
I'm sure,
pick.
dude.
Yeah.
Everyone in real life is super fucking cool. You know, every time I meet someone in real life, I'm like, that guy's a fucking.
Hey,
awesome.
Al Iaquinta gave Khabib a good fight that time. Remember that shit? Couldn't
He
take him
did.
down.
Anyone give anyone a good fight? Like,
On
oh, that guy
Monday's
couldn't
notice.
touch that guy. I'm like, really, dude? I will fight anybody, dude. I mean, not anybody, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like you train this hard. You know, like okay, like if it came down to it,
If the circumstances are right,
I'm
it
at
could
least
be
gonna
anybody.
get a licking. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go out like a bitch. You know?
I like Oliveira. I like that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's a beast.
Oh, for sure.
Dave, who you like?
Like fighters who
Yeah.
I'm a fan of.
Who's your MMA fighter? If you had to pick one.
Oh, I don't have like a favorite or anything. Like I've had, I don't know. I like Khabib.
Okay.
I am a fan of the Diaz brothers, but like I've met them and shit, so like they're
Nice.
like they're cool people. Yeah, I like a lot of fighters. I really
Are you a
do.
fan of anybody?
Yeah, I'm a fan of a lot of people.
Yeah, I like most all guys except there's like a couple dudes I don't like.
Dude,
Who don't you like? Who don't you like?
I'm trying to think. Let's see who pisses me off.
I hate DC, dude. I know he's a
DC.
good person. I just don't like him.
Why don't
I don't
you
know.
like
I don't
him?
know him personally.
I'm pretty
Nah,
indifferent.
me neither,
to
but that's
DC.
why I don't like him. Probably.
I don't like that one guy.
Me commentating quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I like him.
Saturday.
I like him as a person, but I think he's a bad commentator, and I don't like him as a fighter
He
in
talks
particular
way too
either.
much commentating.
I don't-
Dave, anyone you don't like? Anyone you want to clear the air?
I don't like
Just in case you meet
fucking-
somebody? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I don't like the dude who used to play football and now he fights UFC. I don't like
Greg
that guy.
Hardy.
Yeah, I don't like
No
Greg
one
Hardy.
likes
Yeah, he
Greg
beats
Hardy.
women too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
no
Dude,
one
and the
likes that
UFC still puts him on. Like they don't give a fuck. They're
I'm
like,
also-
if this is gonna
yeah.
get people pissed off and
Just
watch.
cheating, using inhalers.
Yeah,
in
whatever.
Between rounds.
He also sucks as a fighter. I don't know. They keep throwing him like other guys who have zero experience.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's just
that's
scary.
that whole heavyweight division.
Yo,
Someone should just let him get
I
KO'd
hate
by
all
All-Star.
heavyweights.
Yeah.
Almost all heavyweights.
What
You
about
should have
Stipe?
him fight.
Stipe is one of the exceptions.
Yeah, I like Stipe. They should have him
Heavyweights
fight
Stipe.
Stipe. I like
heavyweights
him.
are the pinnacle of technique in MMA, dude. Everyone knows that.
I always, whenever people argue with me about heavyweights, like, because I'm a flyweight, so we have a natural hatred of each other. I'm like, when's the last time you would have watched an MMA heavyweight to learn some technique from? Like ever. Name one time.
Yeah. Frank Mir, maybe.
Frank, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he did that
Anytime
one.
recently, since MMA has actually
That one
developed.
time.
Dude, Francis Ngannou's got some sick technique. Dude.
Yeah, bro.
He's a beast.
Yo, remember? Yeah.
Good punches.
That
Yo.
running uppercut is something.
Wait,
to learn.
remember, dude, that dude threw an inside low kick at him. Why would he do that, knowing he was just gonna bum rush him with bombs,
Rosenstruck?
dude? Yeah, why did he throw a fucking inside?
Yeah, don't leave with a kick, dummy.
He just
You
clubbed
killed
him. He was in the corner, just like punching him as hard as he could. There was that one, but you know what? One I was gonna bring up. Speaking of Frank Mir, remember the fight between Frank Mir and Todd Duffy? I think when they were like, was it Todd Duffy? He's a huge guy, right? Yeah, he was down in on it that time, right? Todd Duffy, is that the right guy? Where he was like literally swinging from back here. His hand was like he was winding up with his waist all the way wound up, and then I think Frank Mir KO'd him
Yes.
eventually. But you know, like it's an interesting for me. Like I didn't do that many fights, but when I did do the fights, I never went in thinking like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna. Someone's getting
Heavyweights
KO'd.
just-
yeah,
they
but
just let it
that's
go.
the mentality of going in there. Like that Todd Duffy fight, he didn't even try. He like came out and Mir threw a punch, he ducked, and then was just off. Someone's going down.
That's why people like
Yeah.
heavyweights.
Yeah, I'm This is very upsetting to me.
I'm
personally.
sorry that.
No, you're right.
dude.
I'm
I
not
hate
saying
the
you're
world
wrong.
as it is too, man.
I'm not saying
I think
you're
it's a
wrong.
I'm
shit
not a
place.
big. I don't like heavyweights.
Dude, how about? Yeah, I mean, so heavyweights being amongst the most popular divisions amongst the general public is infuriating, but also like Jake Paul being able to do more pay-per-views
Yeah, I
than
know.
like
Wow.
legit elite fighters. It's just and,
That does
and here's
piss
the
you
thing:
off, yeah.
I can't blame them for it. I blame the public
Mm-hmm.
for rewarding this bullshit.
Yeah, you have to blame the public.
Hey man, I've known it's been like this for a long time.
Yeah.
I knew.
People
I
are
knew.
buying it for entertainment, not for sports.
Yeah, but still though, Paul Jake knocking
Well,
guys
then
out.
why don't we have celebrities
Why the
do-
fuck didn't he have the other guy?
We should have celebrities play all our sports for us. Then. I mean, why even have professional athletes? Let's just get celebrities that people like and hate play all the
think
sports.
They
don't
did.
go
It
that
was awesome. It
direction.
was called Pros versus Joes. That was a sick show.
My
Remember
man
that
Charlie
shit?
Brenneman schooled some people.
Yeah, Pros versus Joes. People got and then
Dude,
someone.
that was a great show.
Someone
Yeah.
fucking somebody
That was a great
ran
show.
over or I forget who got pissed, but like Alonzo Mourning, like they had like the old school Knicks like playing 3-on-3
yeah.
with like random dudes.
Dude, those people
Someone
been
got
waiting.
pissed. Yeah, and
Yeah, I've been waiting. I'm
Alonzo
like, I can't wait
Mourning-
to school one of these Joe motherfuckers on television. They're gonna put this on camera.
Dude,
do this all the time.
They let the guy run, and I forget who they had playing like defensive back, but it was like someone, like Ray Lewis or
They
some
had- they
shit
had
like that. Just coming down the pike, like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, they had real people.
like
yeah.
Arturo Gotti versus some like that dude. Like, yikes, guy. Like, that guy's gonna hit you.
Yeah,
hard.
I think Alonzo Mourning, like a guy went up for a shot and he like just
yeah.
took him out
just
like
not
into the
even-
concrete, and the guy
different
couldn't
worlds.
continue. Yeah,
Totally different world.
Pros versus Joes.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah, they should bring that shit
On
back,
Spike
dude.
TV, dude. That was man. I really like that
Yeah.
show.
Charlie Brenneman won the show.
I'm gonna YouTube
Did
that
he?
later.
yeah.
Yeah. This is the guy's name. This is great because I have a memory for shit like this. The guy's name was Petros Papadakis. That was the guy. He's like, and this is Pros versus Joes. Sean
Greek
kept
guy.
trying out for
they-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, Greek guys.
Sean kept trying out for it, but I don't think he
Classic.
got on it.
Sean Chung? Oh.
No, my
No,
boy
Sean.
Sean Green.
His buddy Sean Green.
Yeah. He was trying to get on that
comedian?
shit for a while. Yeah. He was trying to get on Pros versus
guy.
Joes. He was trying to get on a lot of shit. Actually, now Sean, when he eventually, if he ever comes back east, I'll get him on the podcast. But he works. He's like the head writer for whatever the Rob Dyrdek show is now, like the comedy show or whatever that he does online. The
Clip show.
yeah.
For MTV.
Ridiculousness.
Ridiculousness. Yeah. He works for. He's like the head writer on Ridiculousness.
Pick up
So.
on MTV tonight.
Yeah, ridiculousness.
I haven't seen Sean in a
They
while,
got that
but he's a
annoying
good
ass woman. What's
If I'm
her
on a
name?
plane,
Chanel.
Chanel West Coast.
What?
You think JM's laugh is bad? You ever heard her laugh?
he's acting like
a
he's
massive rapper.
like if she gave him 5 seconds of time, it would make his whole world. Like, you know what I mean? Like all right. Oh, she's annoying.
Chanel. I can't
She might
remember.
be a guy,
yeah.
though. You don't even know that. I don't trust any of this
Oh my
Hollywood shit.
God.
I don't trust it because, like, I heard Jessica Alba was a guy. Did you hear that?
What?
Obviously not. I don't run. We don't run in the same circles.
Dude, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Some of this shit, like
I gotta step away for this one.
What? Because Jessica Alba's a guy.
I never trust it because, like, all the chicks that are like, wow, that chick's so hot.
I'll take my chances with that one.
Like, well, like, all the guys are like, yo, she's so hot. I'm like, yo, what if she's a dude, though?
Well, there's always that chance.
Because the devil laughs when they switch it up on you like that. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, ha ha, gotcha.
well, I don't know if those girls, the
Guys,
ones.
let's not get political. I won't get political.
All right, I won't.
All right, sorry.
No. What was that? What was that movie? It's like it's a man, baby.
Yeah, Austin Powers. That shit is not
No, no,
allowed
no.
anymore.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
yeah, Austin
Biden
Powers.
hired the fucking Pennsylvania lady today.
I know.
Did you see that? The Pennsylvania guy?
No.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting political again.
Like, let's talk about
Oh, it's crazy.
Hey,
it's
Pennsylvania.
crazy.
Pennsylvania. You know what though? I will say this: Pennsylvania is super fucked up, but honestly,
Good gun laws.
comparable to a lot of places right now, we're sitting pretty because there's some fucking states that are really
community
blowing it.
is.
Yeah, and Pennsylvania out here, people are like, they'll listen to the rules, kinda. They're like, yeah, will follow him, kinda. Some people will, and then a lot of people won't. But in other places, like you go into like certain cities like Philadelphia, or you go to New Jersey and stuff, it's a completely different situation. So I'm thankful to be where we're at in this. Like even if Q comes down and it's a whole situation going on, not to get political, but if it does, I don't think it's going to affect us because we're not.
Yo,
in the big
no one
cities.
serious thinks
You know.
Q is legit. dude.
I know. That's why I keep saying.
I
that.
heard you have to eat a shoe if it is legit.
Well, I did say I said I will live stream eating my shoe if Biden gets arrested and they play
Dude.
"God Bless America" and everybody
Don't
comes
you want
out.
it to happen though?
Yeah, I mean
Imagine
everybody
that,
wants
though.
shit
Don't
to
you
happen,
want it
but
to
it's not gonna
happen?
happen. Dude,
Isn't that the point?
I want
Why would
I want $1
anyone
million
want that to
too.
You don't want anyone, dude.
Did you see
don't
what
want
they were
anyone-
doing with the National Guard? They took away their ammos and their bullets from their
No,
guns.
dude, that's all fake
so
news,
they're just
man.
walking around with just empty ARs.
You're
like-
watching CNN. That's what I tell my parents. Stop watching CNN or Fox News. You're in a Fox News loop again. You're caught. You need to get out of the circle.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, you need to get out of
Gotcha,
the
bitch.
circle. I'm
I've
worried.
seen it on the Onion.
How's my dick taste?
Right now, I'm always just
That's not nice.
I'm totally just worried about moving to school. That's number one for me.
Bro, you're trying to get out there, dude, and I'm just not. Dude, this is not.
How's my dude?
not how it's
taste?
done.
That's the Trainer Don't podcast.
These
That's
are
the
real
Trainer Don't
professionals.
podcast.
Yeah, this is a Trainer Don't podcast.
So good.
Is that a real podcast?
Yeah, he just
I
started
did
that.
2 episodes already, man. It's on video.
What you talk
It's
about?
on video?
Yeah, it's right here.
What you talk about?
Just kidding.
I don't want to.
Don't bring it up.
What I'm talking about now? Why they yelling at me now? Why they yelling at me now?
He'll bring it up. Don't worry. Don't worry.
JM with no one changing the subject.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's why we just record it, and it's a show. It's now a show, and it's going to be a cartoon eventually.
Dude, we're like
too, probably.
you're like a network now, Mike.
Yeah,
Sort of.
It's like they're because he's doing just podcasts out the anus.
yeah,
Just
8 shows.
8 shows this week.
yeah. You get these guys back on like when it's not all of us. you
Yeah,
know
I'm
what I
sorry.
mean?
I'm because like I invited Dave because Dave's competing at Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds.
Coming up.
The
135
one. Yeah, talk
Oh
about
shit!
that.
Nice.
So like I knew he was and he's working real hard. So
Yeah. We're just hanging out. man.
we get to do this every week.
Yeah, that's
Me
what
and
I'm
Zach get to do this every week, so we treat it like it's like me and Zach are doing a podcast. You know what I mean? And we got all this cool shit and the switchboards, and Mike does all this for us. and
Switchboards.
People don't even get this. People don't
Yeah.
even like. This takes a lot of effort, right?
Yeah,
We
oh,
just
well,
do it all the time.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
setup is-
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, it's cool,
I
right?
want to keep
I would bring either of you on for like a full interview
nice.
on like the show that I do. So
Cool,
you
man.
guys are welcome to come on that anytime.
Or
Thank
just
you.
like
Appreciate that.
you're doing it right now. You know?
Anytime.
Yeah, but I mean, then when he'll like be able to ask you like real shit, and not just
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we could have a non.
Why you keep
Say it.
apologizing,
All right,
dude?
yeah, I know you're cool.
I'm
I
happy
know,
to be
I know,
here, yeah.
dude. I love you guys.
We just got done
What,
training.
wait,
yeah, we
yeah.
just got done training. It's all good.
It's a
Dude, I
late night
freak out during
podcast.
the day. It's just me and the baby, and
Oh, I know,
I just go nuts.
What wait, who's in that? Who else is in the combat jiu-jitsu?
Oh man, they've announced like 9 of us so far.
Yeah, because he's on his
Alarcon
phone.
is in
He's
it,
just looking
'cause
at
he won
Big
the last
Bear
one.
shit.
Wait, hold on, I can't hear anything.
No worries.
Who is in it?
Richard Alacon's in it.
Oh shit, that
Uh,
guy's tough.
Yeah. Then Elias Anderson.
That guy's tough.
Gabriel Daffron.
That guy's tough.
Marcelo Cohen.
That guy's tough. But you could beat that guy.
uh,
You could beat a
that's
lot
what
of those
everyone's-
guys. Yeah.
Um,
Some of the guys are a little bit smaller, I think. Austin DeFron and Marcelo Cohen, like they're really good, but they're maybe like a little. They might be like 125ers too. So that'd be like a good matchup for
I
you
think
too.
Dave crushes, dude. I think
Yeah,
Dave
yeah.
does really good. I've been rolling with him the last how long have we been rolling together?
man, since November.
A couple weeks now, right?
Yeah.
A couple months now.
It's been 2
You know,
months.
And I'm just giving them I'm not I'm just trying to be like, oh, this is what I think about this, and I just give you everything I got.
Yeah, you've been helping me a lot, man. You've been really influencing my game and helping me to make some progress. And
Fuck yeah, dude.
Nice.
I feel like I match up well, like strength wise, as long as I make the weight cut right with those guys.
Yeah,
And
yeah. That's what I mean.
I can. I think I can take the whole thing. I just got to fight, patiently,
Yeah.
correctly.
Yep. And
Not
then,
make
you know,
mistakes.
dude, like you got, obviously you won the OT championship. You get on someone's back in that OT or you take their
Yeah.
back in the thing and it's wrap. You know what I mean? You just got to get to that's the thing. Like the guy, even not to bring up Thomas again, but he's like, I don't want to do a jiu-jitsu tournament where it's EBI rules. I hate that. I'm like, bro, the back and armbar, you hate that? I'm like, that's
Yeah.
MMA, dude.
Let me do that.
I'm like,
Thomas, you're 16.
you got to get them. Yeah, I want him to learn. I want him to know, like, to get good at but he doesn't want to do the rules because at the good fight because you have to do the back of the armbar if you go to the OT. And I'm like, bro, you should get good at that. Think about MMA, man. Like, what is, you were talking about it before, like, what is a lot of those matches? It's EBIOTs. You get the guys back and they're just choking dudes out. Some guys you could tell don't really have very good defense. And some guys just, once they get the back, fucking Khabib, you know what I mean? Like, you get that back.
There's
it's
also
done,
guys
dude.
that are like you said, like the Diaz brothers are good in transition. Like I feel like I'm more like that, where like I'm not. It's a static position
It's tough, yeah.
you know what I mean. So it's good to do it. It's good to do IBJJF.
Yeah,
it's
it's
good
good
to
to do all of
do
them, yeah.
NAGA. The more you're exposed to, the less you need to do to win. You know,
At,
just
at
like
his age,
right. Do all of it. Do
Yes.
every fucking
all
dude.
the
Guys can't even
experiences.
get fights.
all the experiences.
If you want to be a fighter right now, like when I was, when you started and we all started, it was, there was fights. There was fights all the time, and then there wasn't fights at the same time. Like it was, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like weird that kids that want to fight and can't get fights. Like,
Yeah.
you literally, I can't get you a fight. Like it's mind boggling to me because like it's gonna be like a skip in the record, kind of like what's going on. Like there was that hiccup where guys were training but they weren't fighting, unless like the high level guys, the pros.
Right.
Not even all guys were training though, because I even saw a lot of high level guys were like, I took a month off because my place has been closed. Some places have been only doing like
Yeah, but you're
technique shit,
training.
and
Those
then
guys
some
are training,
people,
pros and shit.
Some people haven't. A lot of people took weeks off at a time, and they definitely didn't fight as much as they normally would have fought.
Right.
But then again, though, some fucking guys fought like
More, yeah. It's like weird.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Some guys were getting
it's a
more
whole,
fights.
It's a whole like situation that everyone just did.
Well, but when we started, me and Zach are older, but when we started, there were like maybe 3 promotions, but they were pretty consistent, And then there was some underground shit, obviously.
Yeah, like
Throw
you
that
could
in
get a
there.
fight if you were in the game. Like you could get a fight. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But then I'm sure how many fights you've had, and then versus how many fights that you could have had that didn't work out. There's probably like another 10. Like if you have 12 amateur MMA fights, there was probably another 8 or 6 that the guy didn't show up or they missed weight or whatever, the paperwork.
yeah.
There's so many how many fights do you have fall through in your career?
Not many, because I have no amateur fights. I think like in amateur situations that's a much more significant issue. But like when I started, amateur MMA was almost non-existent. The guy I fought in my first pro fight was one of the only guys I had ever heard of that had amateur fights.
Really?
He had 3 amateur fights, and I was like, at the time, New Jersey, it wasn't even legal in Pennsylvania. So New Jersey had like if you wanted to fight amateur, there was no ground and pound. I'm a Division I wrestler.
Yeah,
with
what am I doing
no
here?
belt in jiu-jitsu, and have been striking for a handful of months.
I just want to fight
Like
someone.
a ground and pound is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you're taking that away. No, I'm not gonna fight for free to not ground and pound people. So I just went straight to pro. But amateur really wasn't even a thing. Like if I had to start now, I would have to fight amateur. The level is way different.
Yeah.
But at that time, it was a whole different time.
Yeah. I was like kind of right when I started fighting. It was kind of right. in
But
the
people
middle
drop
of
out in
that,
amateurs,
in the midst
like,
of the amateur.
Everywhere, all the time. Like they just don't show up and stuff. And
Yeah.
in pros, it's usually not quite as much. I think I've had 2 pro fights fall through, which is very little. Very little.
Yeah, I don't think when I started there was definitely no amateur. There wasn't. It was just like,
Yeah, it probably wasn't even called MMA yet.
yeah, no, it was called NHB.
My guy.
No holds barred. People didn't understand what that meant. Though, my dad looked at a thing and he's
Me
like,
and Zach are the real
yeah.
OGs.
He's like, no holds barred. He thought it said no bared fists because it said like no holds barred, closed fists. And he like read it all together. And I was like, Dad. He just imagined Hulk Hogan and Zeus. Remember the dude like in the cage because the movie was called No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you're not going to meet. He didn't understand what it was. Like, he's like, you're fighting in a cage and everything. I was like, nah, but he did come to see my first fight.
registered
He did come to
hands
see my
only.
first fight. And I remember like someone got it might have even been Stephen High. It might have been him. He like grabbed the guy and like kneed the guy like 6 times in the head. And then the guy was just like standing like in a Mortal Kombat like daze where they were just like finish him, and he went in and then they stopped it. And my dad was like, oh shit. I remember he was walking in when that happened at the Wildwood Convention Center, and he was like, are you sure you know what you're doing? I'm like, yeah, coach told me that I was good. Said I knew I was up. I was going to beat him. That's what he said.
My parents watched me wrestle like for my whole life. Then the first time, it's like 2003, they came to a jiu-jitsu tournament and watched. and I got choked unconscious by a Tiger Schulman's guy, Mike Murray.
Yeah,
who I know
Mike,
you know.
yeah.
Choked me unconscious, and my parents thought I was dead. When he let go of me and I was like fell over unconscious, they thought I was dead. So they were freaking out. And then my first MMA fight is a few years later, 4 years later. Asbury Park Convention Center, the super like underground show.
What was that
Not really
called?
underground. It was called Combat in the Cage.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
exist anymore. A guy got soccer kicked unconscious, and they had to like he was out for
Stretchered
15
him,
minutes.
yeah.
They had to take him out from the cage on a stretcher, still unconscious. My parents were like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
It was funny. My
So they were
parents have
terrified.
never like really
Terrified.
been to any of my jiu-jitsu tournaments or anything like that. So when me and JM went to Cancun for like when they both were in combat jiu-jitsu, they thought I was competing in it. When I was like, "No, mom, I'm just going with my instructor to like watch." And like she's messaging me after like the first Nathan Orchard match when he like arm dragged the guy and just smacked the shit out of him on the way down. And she's like, "Oh, you're doing this? You're gonna get hit." And she's like tweaking out on the phone, texting me. She's like, "Are you sure you're gonna do this?" I was like,
My dad he believed it. You know what though? I will give my dad credit because after he saw that and he was like, "You sure this is, you know what you're doing?" And I told him, he was like, "All right." Like he could have easily just been like, "No, you're out of here. You're going to get killed," you know, but he was like, "All right, I guess." But he also saw me like fight karate and like box people before a lot. So he wasn't like, you know, it was just different because you're like in your underwear fighting somebody or whatever.
It was totally new then. People don't get it that like MMA was uncharted territory,
Yeah.
like total like people didn't know what this
No,
shit was.
my dad's like, "It's a fucking street fight, and you can't tell me different." I was like, "It's really not a street fight because even back then, you're still using techniques and shit."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's as close as it's ever gonna get.
Yeah, yeah. But he
most
just,
times.
in his idea, he didn't like the fact that guys could be on the ground. Like, he's from an
Yeah,
old
yeah.
school
Right.
aspect of martial arts and boxing where, like,
beneath us.
if a guy went on the ground, you couldn't kick him or punch him. He didn't like that. Like, if a guy was out, he's like, the ref's gotta, you know, he's like, he's down. I'm like, yeah, but he's, you know what I
That's
mean?
what
He's
I
not
want.
out. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not out yet. That's what he used to get pissed off at. He didn't like that. But my dad introduced me to, you know, martial arts.
Even like the business of martial arts.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I knew like all right, like martial like in 2001, you're like, dude, martial arts is gonna who doesn't like it was not popular at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one liked it. It was like a fringe thing. It was like
well,
paint like airsoft or something. You know what I mean? Like
airsoft.
like airsoft rifle guys
Yeah.
that like, you know, freak out when they get shot, whatever. Like
That's like jujitsu guys.
Speaking of that, you ever seen those
Yo,
Russian
well, that's
videos?
fucked up, dude. I know an airsoft guy, man.
Yeah,
He's gonna be
yeah.
pissed.
All right, there's all kinds of guys. You know what I mean? All these guys. Just stay
Airsoft
on your
guys.
spot.
But
like,
when I don't know, I forget when I met you. We were still in high school, but like, what did people think when you first started telling people that you're like, yo, I'm doing, you know, because they know about wrestling, but then when you start doing jujitsu, it's a little bit different. You know, because I remember seeing it at Grappler's Quest or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. He's doing this, like, because nobody did that shit. So, like, when I saw you walking, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I knew you wrestle and stuff, but I didn't know you were going to get into, like, jiu-jitsu. So, like, when you'd see someone else that, like, was actually in it, because I would even bring videotape to high school and try to show guys, like, no, here's me fucking kicking a guy in the head. And they would just be like... And they'd be like, look at Zach fighting off his back again. You know what I mean?
Pussy.
Yeah, or like call me a homo or something. I'm like, all right, you know? So like, I don't know. What did people think?
So I think because I came from wrestling, a lot of the wrestlers were very interested in it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And
that makes sense.
it's like when I was wrestling in college, we would get like Pride pay-per-views and UFC pay-per-views,
yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone was really kind of into it. We would like it like when we weren't actually in practice, we'd even mess around trying to do submissions, even though none of us knew what we were doing. So it was like kind of a much easier transition. They were all into it. Like all my wrestling friends, all my college friends were like happy to come to
Nice.
check out my first fight. They didn't come to grappling tournaments and stuff.
Yeah. But the Kimbo one, you fought on the same card as Kimbo in AC, so I know that one. I think I came to
That
that
was
one.
in Newark.
Oh, that was in Newark? What, did you fight one in AC?
I fought many in AC.
Yeah, but one not on the Kimbo card?
Elite
Nah.
XC? No. I fought not a Kimbo card in AC.
It was in Newark. Maybe I didn't go see that one. I'm memory blanking, but I did go see a Kimbo fight, so maybe that was the one.
It was the first one on network TV. You know how like that Max Holloway fight was on ABC.
Mm-hmm.
So this is 2008. the first ever MMA event on primetime TV. It was on NBC. It was the Elite XC primetime. I was on the
shit.
undercard. I wasn't on TV. But like Robbie Lawler was on that card.
Yeah, I remember
Gina
that.
Carano.
Yeah,
was on the
okay,
card.
yeah. No, I
Kimbo
wasn't
and
at
James
that one.
Thompson was the main event.
Nah, I do
Calvin
remember, yeah.
Cater versus Binky Jones was on the undercard.
Oh shit! I almost fought Binky Jones, but that fight fell through. So
He fought Calvin Cater, the guy who
Damn.
just fought
Yeah,
Max
yeah, that's
on that
insane.
card. It was sick.
damn, I remember I sat one time. I was at a Ring of Combat, and I sat
Binky
front like front row for Josh Koscheck fought Luke Como. I've been talking to Luke a lot on Instagram too.
I noticed that. What's with that? What do you? He's like he like comments like
I don't know.
on your shit. I'm like, what's?
I've known him from back
you
in
like
the day.
Luke Kumo.
I've known him from back in the day. So he wants to come by the school and stuff. He wants to come by and see one of the
Is he still
tournaments and
teaching?
shit. Yeah, he's got his own school and stuff.
No shit.
Yeah, he's the man.
Where's he at?
Yeah, I just kind of like.
I think it's in New York. He's he used to fight on. He was on UFC Ultimate Fighter 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first one.
And he fought Koscheck and he fought Dave Torelli a bunch, and he fought he used to kickbox. And this is what I was trying to tell Thomas too. Before I started doing MMA fights, we would do kickboxing matches. We did those kickboxing matches, and that was one of the spots. There'd be like a million dudes. It didn't even matter. No one had a record. You didn't have like invite people or nothing like that. It was just every weekend. Someone fought. Like you didn't fight every weekend. Like maybe
Smokers?
once every 2 months. Yeah, but they were real. Like they were smokers kind of, but it was at Matt Serra and Ray Longo's gym in Mineola, Long Island. And they pack like fucking foot. It's super coronavirus, super spreader situation in there. There'd be not thousands. There'd be like 400 people packed in a place that should have had like 50. And they would just be running people out, and it was like 1,000 degrees in there. The mat was soaking wet, and they would just they would be switching the gloves from people. And they had that one that one ref with the
Yeah. Yep.
the one with the
USK
toupee,
guy.
yeah, the USK. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see that guy? He was one guy who used to ref all the matches, and they would, I'm sure he got paid. He was an older guy, and he just had a crazy toupee, and he was always the ref. And dude, people would get that one video I showed me knocking that one guy out. Because he was like all like that. Like Tiger Schulman's had 11 fights, and I think they were 11 for 11 or something, maybe 10 for 10 that night. And there was like 9 knockouts, and people were getting just taken out. Like there were people legit getting taken out on stretchers left and right. Like Jim Garzillo knocked a guy out in like 13 seconds and shit like that. People don't even know. Like everybody wants to jump right in and do an MMA fight. It's like you haven't done any jiu-jitsu matches. You haven't done all the, there are so many different things you did before to get good at all that stuff before you actually go in and do the fight. But yeah, that's kind of where I met Luke back in the day. So he had a lot of crazy fights. I remember that one. I don't know whether they fucked up and forgot the cage Ring of Combat that time, but this the Ring of Combat 2 was in a WWF ring.
I feel like we're missing something.
Yeah, because it was like literally. I remember getting there.
Who got the truck?
Yeah.
Where is the rental truck?
I should
With
get
the
it.
cage
He would be
and,
a
like-
great guy to get on the podcast, Mike. I can definitely hook that up too.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll have to ask him about it, but I'm pretty sure like Josh Koscheck was like taking him down like through the ropes, like into like the crowd, and like Kip Kolar and other people were like pushing him back in, and I don't know.
Yeah, MMA was totally new, right? Like totally. I mean,
yeah.
even in 2000, 2001, like the UFC was 93. And then some people got really into it after that, right? Like they saw Hoist Gracie and they got all inspired and started doing jiu-jitsu, right? So, but like I didn't, when I discovered MMA was like UFC 7. And I think my dad got me into it. Like he showed me a tape of like Marco Huas winning the tournament. That was like my first UFC.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, that guy can do everything, So like I never knew about Hoist. Like I never like
Luta Libre.
I think when I was 4 years old right, so kind of like the more mixed, he was mixed. He could leg kick too good for that guy. He could grapple too good for that guy.
I heard it was like the less affluent people. Like jiu-jitsu was for the more wealthy
Yeah.
people, and Luta Libre was like the
That's why.
Well, that's why it
version.
makes sense that I like what I like.
Yeah, Luta Libre. And the Luta Libre guys
Foot stomps.
couldn't afford gis either. That's what they said. They couldn't afford to have the gis
Right,
all
yeah,
the time.
yeah.
So that's why
They
they're
did a lot of
always
no gi.
wearing.
Yeah,
no gi. Yeah.
Hey, Marco Huas was doing heel
Yeah,
hooks
he-
on guys and all
King
that.
of the
Yep.
streets.
of the
RNCs.
streets, dude.
leg kicks.
If
My
you-
kind of guy.
I tried to look up some of his fights. So one day we were talking about it. He has like 3 or 4 heel hooks. He's a bunch
Dude, he
of
did.
leg
He did everything. Knee bars.
Yeah,
heel hooks,
you know what?
Mount. He could pass. He could strike. He could
That was the thing.
box. He could leg
Yeah.
kick. What's up? You want another one?
Pre.
You know, didn't
Come on, man. Let's go.
get him a
Just
beer.
do it.
Can you get him a beer,
Can
please?
you get him a beer, please? Why
Yeah.
we gotta make it a production?
Don't say please. Don't say.
Yeah.
Don't say
Get him a beer.
please.
Have you guys seen that book written by
Now.
Robert Drysdale? Did you see that?
No, I want to get it. I want
you
to
see
get it. It's
that?
on my Amazon wish
What?
list.
Oh, I think
No.
I know what you're talking about, but I didn't read it.
Have you seen that? Robert Drysdale wrote a book about jiu-jitsu, kind of. Yo, what's that book about? Explain that book.
Explain the book I haven't read. It's it's
Yeah, come
about
on.
the history of jiu-jitsu, I bet.
But it's not.
But I don't, I'm not a Drysdale guy. You know what I
Me
mean? Like
neither,
I'm not
but-
like a big Drysdale. These guys and they got fans. They're fans.
Yeah, but how weird is this?
They're gonna
So-
write books about Gordon Ryan and shit.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
but
Whatever.
it's a book about some weird. Hey, quiet, we're talking. There's a book about some weird jujitsu thing, like American jujitsu or some weird shit. That's
I saw.
why.
Well, they played that right before.
Right,
Grace's
I was going to
match
bring
at
this
Fight
up.
to-
This was really weird, right? We're
like American jiu-jitsu.
So first of all, we're at Who's Number One, right? And Grace is obviously, with us. So we're out there. It's me, him, Eddie Bravo, and Grace is on the mat, right? Or they're waiting for the people to come out, and obviously we're outnumbered by the Brazilians in this one. And they play this. Everybody's all there. They're all Brazilianed up, ready to they're just waiting to give the decision to the other person. And we're just like, all right, well, let's have the match first. Let's see what happens. And they're just like, then they play a fucking 5-minute clip about American jiu-jitsu and dudes basically being cocky about well, this is American jiu-jitsu and blah, 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 blah. And we're just like, okay, what? That was so
Super
weird.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Murillo sitting 10 feet from me.
yeah, I know. Dude, what the fuck? I'm like, why are they setting us up with this one? Why do they have to play it's
man.
USA American Jiu-Jitsu and this is different over here because we're doing our own Jiu-Jitsu? And I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Why you gotta bring up old shit, man?
Just promoters, dude.
Yeah.
Just promoters.
But what was that? A
and
Flow Grappling thing?
Everyone's got
Or was
an
that
agenda
promoting
and
that
why they're-
book?
I mean, you gotta think about why you put on a show. What's the reason you put you put shows together? You put shows together because you want to put the best talent out for the sub only scene and get those guys out to bigger shows. You know what I mean? Like Dave did finishers, now he's on fucking combat jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That's why we do the show. So a lot of these guys they see that and they're like, okay, how do we make it so our guy's better than their guy? And you know what I mean? It's all positioning and propaganda.
Agendas,
And I've been right there on the mat with everybody, and I see you. I'm just we're looking at the fix happening. I'm like, oh, this is going down right now. I knew what I saw Thor's match, I saw Grace's match. I was there for the whole thing. I knew it didn't even upset me. I'm just like,
No,
if you,
but
I mean, if you think that doesn't happen in MMA, or-
yeah, absolutely. It's just
the
but that's why,
whole regional scene is based on that principle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that has the best, has the team that the promoter likes, that
A lot of the promoter in MMA, a lot of the promoters in MMA are managing the fighters, so they set them up with good matches. They get them to the title, and then
Yeah.
send them to the UFC.
yeah, that's why I was kind of like, okay, MMA is not really my thing because I would just get everyone's toughest guy all the time. I was the dude fighting everyone's.
same with us. I mean, even look at all
God.
Bryant's fights.
Easy
Every time
fix.
Bryant
You start
fought,
your
yeah.
own promotion.
Yeah.
Right,
Done deal.
right. And that's why we're successful because we have the finisher show. We have the.
We're
if
trying
we did
with the
MMA, we'd be
MMA,
more
but-
successful at MMA.
We just keep getting cock blocked by the.
You gonna do finishers MMA?
We would love to do MMA fights, but the whatchamacallit is.
dude, I'm not even allowed to go
different.
pro in Pennsylvania.
Commission.
Yeah, the
I'm
commissioner.
not. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, dude. I'm not gonna fight amateur.
And you have amateur fights.
Yeah, and I have 9 amateur fights, and on top of that, kickboxing fights and wrestling. I did the whole thing.
Is it the length of time?
I don't
since
know.
you've
Maybe
fought?
it's because I left my old team that maybe. I don't know if that guy said something to the commissioner, yo, that guy fucking fuck that guy or whatever. I don't know why.
No, I think the one was he was oh, too much time in between. I'm like, yeah, but he's been competing this whole time.
I've been doing jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
Not in my home state. I'm not allowed to fight. If they had fights at the Sands before guys ruined it for being racist in the cage. which was awesome. Where I'm from, that's how that goes.
Is it just Pennsylvania, or have you looked the other like Jersey or anything? Or no?
No, we haven't.
That's what happened, dude. I was like, okay, like Zach's doing, kind of paving the way. We're gonna do CFFC at the Sands, and then like I'm like, all right, maybe one day I'll fight at the Sands. Like that'd be cool, man. Like have an MMA fight and fucking, punch someone in the face in front of everybody. That
Give us a little bit of time. We'll bring it back. We're gonna try to get a cage.
And that'd be cool, man. Like just even whatever. But I mean, combat jiu-jitsu is just as dope. Like I feel like that's fights. Like that's like
We
just
should just do those smokers at the gym.
Well, I
Once
know
we have
like
the new
I know
gym,
like when Jim Miller like Jim Miller's the man. He has like
Shout out to Jim.
he has like 4 kids and a farm and shit. And his school's dope. I don't know if he's open right now because it's New Jersey, but he did combat jiu-jitsu smokers, and then he was like, yo, like he had Brian, who's his jiu-jitsu coach, like hit me up and like I ref matches. They were like young kids. They were like 22, 21.
Who was it?
Just like, you know what I mean? Because like if you're like it's so hard to go from not knowing anything to like MMA ready, and like the combat jiu-jitsu is like a good thing to like make you MMA ready. Like
that's why I tried to get
kickboxing is a good thing to make you MMA ready. So like guys aren't getting embarrassed and knocked out in front of their fucking family and shit.
In MMA fights,
yeah.
Thinking of Conor McGregor and shit.
Yeah, whatever. Like you know what I mean? So I got to ref combat jiu-jitsu matches, and they're fucking intense as the Muay Thai fights. They had Muay Thai amateur Muay Thai fights with helmets and shins and gloves, and these kids are fucking sparring, and then they would cut back. They would do like 3 combat jiu-jitsu matches, and everyone would be like, oh shit, and then they would do like 2 Thai fights, and then they would go back to 2 combat jiu-jitsu matches, and then like.
Do we know
Thai
any of the
fights.
guys who fought, or they're just random guys?
Well, I do. They're like Miller's MMA fighters, and he has like good guys.
Yeah, he's got
fight,
top guys. Yeah,
So, I mean, it makes sense, dude. Just do it.
So was like, since you guys know Eddie, was the idea for combat jiu-jitsu like to create a bridge for like more jiu-jitsu specialists to transition to MMA? It was just like one more step to get there.
Yeah, I think it's like you could look at it like that, like where you're the guy that wants to fight MMA one day, and then you do combat jiu-jitsu, like Brandon Moreno, like
Well, he went the other way.
Right. He was like an MMA fighter first. He did combat jiu-jitsu, like the guy I fought was already an MMA fighter and did it.
Right.
So there's guys like that, and then there's guys that are like kind of like I'm not doing like me, like I'm not doing MMA, but I'll still fight you a little bit.
But like Eddie's like the reason he wanted combat jiu-jitsu, I imagine, was to transition someone like the experts in jiu-jitsu to give them a path to MMA that wasn't just like a huge jump. There was like a step in between.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It makes certain jiu-jitsu relevant, whereas like
was that the
jiu-jitsu
idea?
and sport jiu-jitsu, like he was telling me about IBJJF stuff tonight, like how guys will like game them in IBJJF, and like it doesn't really come up. Like IBJJF grappling and MMA grappling are 2 totally different scenarios.
Yeah,
100%, right?
Well,
so
I think he came up with it not just for. I mean, I think that's like a thing that an idea that I was definitely using to try to get the commissioner to allow us to do it, to allow us to do combat jiu-jitsu. But I think Eddie did it because remember jiu-jitsu, just 10 planet jiu-jitsu in itself was, lockdown and rubber guard and all that stuff he was like, this will work in MMA. And he was coming up with a shit for MMA. Mm-hmm. And now, he was doing sub only. And he says this all the time, JM, when we're hanging out with him. He's like, I never wanted to do sub only. I always wanted to do, jiu-jitsu for MMA. That's what I was in charge of. But maybe it was a bridge, but it was also, he just like always like, we're collecting data and seeing what would work and what wouldn't work. And like, what people already like, even it's interesting because it was such a new sport to see like guys come up with weird shit. Like when you ever see the one where Denny Prokopos just basically open hand boxed the guy and he went to one knee and he was like throwing backwards and they were just like throwing. He just like drop a knee and then throw like an overhand right. You know what I mean? Like you're not supposed to be doing it.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Just slap each other while you're on your knees.
Yeah. He was like He was fighting like this. He was like down like this, just boxing the guy, and the other guy was standing, just hitting him like this.
But the guy standing shouldn't have been. Oh, I guess he could hit him.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
on
Once he
his
was down on one knee, yeah. Because I was thinking, like, what happens if I turn my back to him and just drop one knee, and then when they come back, I just turn and swing as hard as I can, or just roll to a leg lock or something. But yeah, I think, and then you're seeing, rubber guards working. Obviously, that's, JM obviously, doing it in his matches. Nate, a bunch of the guys doing rubber guard, and you see like. Other guys come at him with like the one time that guy Tom Halpin won, he just heel hooked everybody. That was interesting. Imanari was in that one.
Tom Halpin is also a beast athlete and way bigger than everyone at 45. Like,
Yeah.
and he heel hooked everybody. His jiu-jitsu's the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not knocking him, but he was primed to win that tournament. Like, he looked good.
I think more people are gonna some guys have to figure out how to not just engage in the grappling so much if they're gonna be the guy who's just gonna strike and try to win by positional, whatever. But some of the guys just dive. I mean, look at the Rotolo brothers though. How about that shit? That was crazy. The both of them won their matches. That
They
one
have
guy,
all of it.
yeah.
They can do the
Takedowns, slaps,
They do what they got to do to this
fucking,
guy. They do what they got to do to that guy.
Yeah, they
Like,
do.
I watched
it's
the
true.
Rotolo go right before my match. I watched Cade go right before me, and I was like, "Damn, I'm not shooting.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good
Yeah.
idea not to shoot."
He'll just
You know what I
guillotine.
mean?
He
Like I told
guillotined
you,
him,
right? I think me and him were hanging out right before our match. Like me, him, he was with me the whole time in Cancun, pretty much. So, like, I saw Cade like hit that guillotine on Holy, and I'm like, "Damn, I'm not fucking shooting. Fuck that. I'm not pulling guard either. That's retarded. Like, why would you want to be on bottom? You know what I mean? Like, and you could have told 28-year-old me that before fighting Chad George, and I would have done good too, standing up. Like I was just like, "Oh, pull guard right away." Not in combat jiu-jitsu. This is combat jiu-jitsu. Like,
Well, you're so not just a bridge to MMA, but a way to validate and, like we were saying earlier, pressure test your system of guard.
Yeah.
Really, that's I guess maybe more.
yeah.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to see that.
I didn't
for
see
sure.
the Rotulo combat jiu-jitsu stuff, but like that's super relevant to MMA. Like people are scared to shoot because of getting their head stuck or getting subbed on the way down,
Yeah.
which is a huge part of MMA. But in MMA, like you can make them worried about the punch, so they can't just wrap your neck. They have to
Yeah,
defend their head. So they can't just go straight to your neck, or they'll get hit in the face, right? So there's still many gaps.
Yeah,
between the-
what's his name? Even King Velasquez still got guillotined.
course,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Just for shooting a
I
double.
think a guy that does combat jiu-jitsu is like, right. I mean, they're not. Everyone wants to make like. Sorry, I just cut you off, right?
No.
I just cut you off.
No,
Bro, we're all cutting each other off.
Sorry.
you didn't though. That's all I said.
No, but dudes, I think combat jiu-jitsu is one of the toughest things you can do in martial arts right now. It's 4 fights in one night.
To win the whole thing,
To
yeah,
win
that's
the
tough
whole
as shit,
thing
yeah.
against the best. I mean, as far as competition goes, you get an MMA fight, you get put up with a guy, it's even. You know what I mean? He got PJ Barch first round. Like,
Yeah.
I got Chad George first round. Like, you know what I mean? You can get fucking. I mean, I did that shit 4 times. You're gonna do it for the second time again in a 16-man tournament. Like, it's a gangster fucking tournament. And not only that, you got to do the combat jiu-jitsu. You got to know all the rules and the regulation and like the get down and the wrestling and the passing and the guard work, and all the trapping and stuff. And then you got overtime on top of it. You got to be an overtime master on top of it. So dudes want to do, guys want to do this. They want to do the fights and they want to be out under the lights right away. But it takes. You just got to like it for what it is. You got to like coming in to train all the time and doing the extra shit. You got to like lifting and not. You got to cut weight. I mean, you guys sacrificed more probably than I did.
Dude, how about what amazes me the most, I think, about the combat jiu-jitsu and just just even EBI rules in general, or just any sub only, if you imagine fighting twice in a fucking night or fighting 3 times a night. That's insane.
PFL does that, right?
Having to compete after you've already competed, if you get that first win and it's like quick and you like tap, this is how it used to be for me. Like if I was going to win a tournament, like if I tapped the first guy quick, I'd be like, okay, all right, yeah, let's do that. I can take this. You know what I mean? But if the first match was like 7 minutes and I won, I'd be like,
1 or
fuck
2
it,
more.
dude. If I just win,
16
I already
man
won one.
tournament
yeah, maybe I'll lose the next one. It's not so big deal. I won a match, but like to have the mental, like to be mentally prepared to be able to go deep into like
Overtime, 3 rounds,
yeah, and just win 4 matches like that's fucking
grueling.
grueling,
It's grueling,
dude.
yeah.
Seeing guys go through that shit, like seeing like that time when PJ just or when like Pat Sabatini just when they're OTing people and just going 10 minutes and they're not stalling either. They're like going 10 minutes of grappling.
Yeah.
Like Nate and PJ, like PJ Bart, like dude, and the Rotolo's going 3 rounds of OT, winning by rounds, and then going to another round and looking fresh. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's crazy. Even watching Gary Tonin in EBI, the one when he went long round with somebody, then he tapped someone quick, then he went another long round, then like he won the fight. Grace won, and then he won the finals in OT by rear naked choking somebody.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even tired.
No,
it didn't even
really
seem
is
like he got
crazy.
up and he was like, yeah, man, like he was like, I really had a great, like he was like a surfer dude, like talking about it. I was like, how the fuck, like if I had one match where I RNC'd a guy, I'd be like, whoo, I'd be like, hold on a second, like you're gonna give me a couple of minutes here until I like gain my, you know what I mean? Just to see that is like, wow, like fuck that. I'm not, dude. It's definitely a young man's game. Like being younger in this, and then
In
mad
jiu-jitsu.
respect. Yeah, mad respect
Like,
to older
if I can
guys out
crack
there
you in
still
the
doing
face.
it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Changes things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Like
those
a 31-year-old punching a 22-year-old in the face
big difference. Yeah.
does that.
I'm saying doing
change
that
things.
being able to go 4 rounds like that. I mean, that
But
is.
yeah, just it's
dude,
its
the
own-
younger guys are
yeah,
taking
it's
that
one of the
shit.
most grueling. I mean, MMA, like the 3 5-minute rounds, the 5-minute rounds, and the level that MMA's at, like the guys that,
That was what I was most.
Like
I mean,
guys
dude,
that-
I don't know how, bro. Like you, like mad respect, bro. I don't know how fucking. When I did that one Matt fight against the Silva, that was the thing I was worried about the most, was having to go 3 5s nonstop grappling like that. Like I know I can do jiu-jitsu, I feel like, for hours, but like I made sure, like I was swimming, I was doing all this shit because I was like, yeah, if I just get tired in the second round, like
get knocked out.
yeah, I know you're gonna get hurt really bad. I made sure I was in shape for that shit. Because when I was younger, I don't even think about, like I was in shape because I was just young and I was running, doing stuff. When I got older, I was like a lot more cognizant of like, you better make sure your ass is in shape or you're gonna get the shit beat out of you bad, by whoever you fight. Doesn't even matter. Guys are
Yeah,
not
they're
taking
just
a
tough.
break.
If they're not
Yeah.
even good, they're just tough. Like, they're
15
just gonna
minutes, oh
outlast
man,
you.
that's insane. Like it's crazy. Like 25 minutes. I love like guys like, oh well, if Connor, Connor, like the dude sitting on the thing, he's oh well, Connor fades in the 3rd round.
Dude, I
I'm like,
posted I'm sorry. I posted something about the a gun today on my Instagram, just a gun. And you know how gun guys are. They want to know, oh, I got to say the right caliber or else I'm a retard, or I got to say, I'm just learning about guns. Like I saw going to the gun store. I'm like, hey, I like that one. They're like, well, that's not this and that. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're all,
Does it
it's
come
just
in
like
pink?
martial arts.
Does that gun come in pink?
No, I have a,
well,
it's all-
what happened?
all my guns are all black.
Sorry.
But guys are, like they're just right away to jump on you about something. Any little thing you say, someone's like, but this
Yeah.
is not the right thing.
Well, how about this?
all
Matt,
right,
the-
What did that have to do with fighting for a long time?
Because it's the same people in fighting. It's the same
Oh, that
people
are saying
fighting
that type of
they
shit,
don't
yeah.
fight. They don't fight, and they're the ones telling me about shit. And then it's the same. Like I just started shooting, but I guarantee you, I'm a way better shot than half these motherfuckers out here. Like I bet you, if they went and actually got into some real shit with a gun, they'd shit themselves before they did anything with it. Like
Probably.
pressure situations. How many pressure situations have you been in?
Me?
Yeah, I'm just saying. These guys, though, these people I'm
guys.
dealing with on a
Depends
regular
on-
basis.
Depends on what
You know?
you view as pressure. I fought 5.5s twice.
Damn,
And once
that's
at high
insane.
altitude.
Well, you're Bellator world champ, right?
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's correct.
so there's right there, and then you got robbed for a shot at the UFC title
Also accurate.
against Dodson. That was bullshit. He fights like a fucking pussy, dude. I hate.
I like
Dodson.
that. We're friends. I like him.
Shots fired by Jay.
I'm sure he's a nice guy because you've met him and fought him,
Very nice
but I don't
guy.
like him because I
I
watched you
trained
fight
with
him.
him. I trained with him for a long time
I was
before
like, "Fuck you!"
fought him.
I was like, that's bullshit. Because he was just hopping around. Sorry.
But no worries. But I think it's a little bit easier to like maybe not in combat jiu-jitsu, but in regular jiu-jitsu to like be really exhausted, to like exert yourself and then kind of just shell up and like kind of hold on to like a half guard or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
rather in MMA, if you get tired on your feet, like you
Yeah,
can't
there's
really,
not
you
what
can't
it's
even
on
run
there.
away. Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna stumble away. It's gonna be very obvious. You're gonna get pummeled. You're gonna dive like a Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz one on a leg and get put immediately in big trouble.
Danger.
It's
Danger.
much harder to hide the fatigue in MMA than I think in jiu-jitsu. Maybe not in combat. Combat jiu-jitsu, I think you could still get if you're really
they
you
have,
overexert
yeah.
yourself. Maybe you get
They have
Hit up
like
a bit.
rules like where they will flag you and you have to be on the ground then and like
Yeah,
guys will
You
push.
you can tell right away a guy's getting worked. Like dudes don't even make it. Just to make it to overtime in combat jiu-jitsu is an accomplishment because dudes can't even. There's like black belts that like
Never been hit before.
never been hit, and
Yeah.
they do combat jiu-jitsu. Like damn, like they only made it 2 minutes.
Faraz tells
You're watching guys. Sorry.
No, you're good. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Like you watch, like you're there live watching it. You're like, damn, this shit's like, it's not MMA, but it's like, you're like, oh shit. You're like, this shit's for real.
It's
You know?
also long. Like the 4 fights, it never goes this way. But the 4 fights can be 88 minutes of fighting. Like you have 10 minutes plus potential 12 minutes of overtime, and that overtime is from like very high
OTPs.
intensity positions. You know, so
Yeah.
like there's potential to go a really, really, really long time in a 4-man combat jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah.
Like
Faraz tells a story about a black belt who came to train with him and was training with him fairly consistently, but then kind of like confessed to Faraz that he was terrified to be in a street fight because he had never been in a street fight, never been hit, and he didn't know if he could handle it. And Faraz tried to convince him that his training was probably much more than adequate to deal with an untrained person. You're a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Generally, I tell people who are looking to get into jiu-jitsu, if you consistently train for 6 months, you'll know enough to basically dismantle anyone who's completely untrained that is anywhere close to your size. What do you think?
fair.
You think about
Okay,
it?
so that narrows it down to like 2% of the population.
Yeah.
Why?
Like,
no way. That's a big
who
percentage.
realistically is untrained, and even untrained people know how to fight. Like my dad's untrained, but my dad has fucked people up in fights. You know what I mean?
What percentage of the population is untrained?
I think
A ton.
98%. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
A huge
But there's,
percent.
I mean, I know guys that train with me that got beat up in street fights that they thought they could fight.
Yeah,
I know
No,
that.
I'm not saying they couldn't. I'm
You
not
know?
saying that
like,
can't
dude,
happen.
you're learning jujitsu. Like I didn't, you're taking only jujitsu class, dude. You got to know, like by the time you're like 7, like okay, like guys fight. I want to be good at fighting. You know what I mean? And train from the time you're that young to the time you're a grown man, and then you can fight. And even still, I watch my mouth. I don't fucking disrespect people because I know I can get fucked up. And I'm like some crazy dude. You could punch me in my
who's gonna-
teeth. You'd fucking kill me.
Who's gonna beat up Jay?
Look at your forearm. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people could beat me up.
You're scared of my
I don't
forearms?
disrespect Zach. I know Zach would fucking overhand right me in the back
Yeah,
of the
but
ear.
most
fucking
people
right in
though,
the back
like
of the ear.
most of the people don't know shit though. Most of the people
Nothing.
just have
They know
no idea.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
right, they know nothing.
like you could fall on them and they
yeah,
would
I
fall
know,
over.
but like it never even comes to
Mount
that with
them
those
and
people. Those
do
people don't
whatever you
fight
want
you.
to.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone
the
that
only one
really
actually
fights you,
really
they
fights
all
fights
on
is
do.
the-
They all do. None of them know anything.
Oh. Someone that's really gonna fight you, they look at you. I mean, I wouldn't fight you. Looking
They
at
don't know. They don't know.
Do you ever watch? You ever
They don't
watch
know,
that
they don't
What Is
know.
New York? And you ever see some of those ones where the guys actually fight each other and like Wawa and shit, and it's like some of the most ridiculous
yeah,
fights
it's.
ever.
I mean,
made.
it's just trash. Yeah, it's
Guys are just
trash,
missing.
garbage
Like
fire.
there's like
Right in the
30
middle of Wawa.
punches thrown, not one landed. I like.
The arms
It's
are
funny
gassed.
though
Yeah,
when
I
some
can
people.
gas it immediately.
When some people will say to me, they'll be like, "You think you could take like high school buddies, or you think you could take that guy?" I'm like,
Absolutely.
"Yes." They're like, "Well, how do you know you could beat him up?" I'm like, "Well, how do you think his honey hole defense is?" And they're like, "I don't know what that is." I'm like, "Exactly, exactly." Before that guy knew what was up, I would, separate his ACL.
98% of the population, we would all put unconscious within 60 seconds. It's like
No,
I think you guys do
yeah.
not give yourselves enough credit. Jam, you don't give yourself enough credit.
We used to do this back. I used to actually do that back in the day, though. When I was in high school and after that, I got those videos of me in the grass, like wrestling people and shit. People did challenge me, and I was like, I was nervous, but like it was just grappling. And then I ended up just, putting people in straight ankle locks and shit back in the day, and people just have no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
Man.
So here, this is a very basic example. When I was in college, so I was probably training for like less than a year at this point, 9 months maybe. I was obviously a very good wrestler, but I had gone to jiu-jitsu for 3 months, and then I was away for wrestling, and then I was back for a couple months, 6 months maybe. And I had people that I was friends with at a fraternity. We're all drinking, and they're like, let's go. I know you're training. Like, how fast are you gonna submit me? And I'm like, I don't know, a minute, less than a minute, obviously, for sure. Like, there's no question. If you're actually not running away, it'll be less than a minute. It was like 28 seconds or something. And then he's like, okay, we're going again.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's going to be less. Now I know exactly what I'm dealing with.
Now you're tired
He's
too.
like,
Yeah.
12 seconds. I'm like, you guys don't understand. I mean, now he was comparable to my size. If I had like a giant, it would be different.
Depends how much.
But still.
Yeah.
I had like a huge
But
strength
they
and
all know
conditioning
nothing.
coach.
They all know nothing.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, if you're going against a guy who's at least has some weight to him or something, like some of the guys over at Made, they'd be tough to like Sammy, like, you know, yeah, they're big ass guys. It'd be different. Like I'd have to run them around a little bit until they got tired.
I fucked around with professional arena football guys over 300 pounds, submitted them multiple times as they try to like get a hold of me.
Yeah,
You know,
I know.
I have to be smart about how I get them to the ground. Professional basketball players, not NBA, but like overseas, same thing. I've dealt with big people, and it takes a little bit longer. You have to be a little bit smarter, but it's literally no effort.
I do remember when we first opened the
promise,
school.
Jam.
When we first opened the school, I know a couple of my buddies came in, like high school friends. Eventually, were like, "All right, I'm gonna finally come in." Like now, they're clearly, you know, most of the guys respected, but back then, guys did come in, and they like. I remember, like even Big Steve, the first time he came in, he did a little jiu-jitsu and got armbarred by George, and was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, but you
like
were at your lowest then. That was like you really starting over from scratch. You were like gonna start jiu-jitsu school, and mad dudes were like, "This is shit."
yeah, let's
Like,
try
dude,
it. Yeah, we
This
still
is
choked
really
them
a
out.
way out
Yeah,
for us. Like we're really gonna make it with this. I knew that.
Yeah.
We knew that from the beginning. Like, dude, jiu-jitsu, martial arts, as a lifestyle, like
Yeah,
that
and a
shit's strong
business.
as hell.
Yeah, but now though it's so different. Like now it's like, but back then I was still beat guys. Like now, how bad would you beat guys? They've been doing nothing for
Oh,
10
man.
years, and then I've
Normal
been
people
training
really,
like an
yeah,
animal.
I know, like you were saying, like I just kind of don't let that. I know that's like what I'm supposed to think, but I don't ever want to let that get to my head because I don't want to like die in some road rage accident or
Yeah.
over some bullshit.
Well,
because I
yeah.
think I'm some tough guy.
Don't worry,
I know I'm
you
tough.
got guns now. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I do have guns,
But
You know,
don't
I
get
have a
it.
lot of
Yeah,
guns.
you don't have. But it's the same thing. Like the time I was walking my dog, and that guy came up and like, you know, kind of talked shit to me, and I looked at him. I was like, you know what? Nah. You know, because I could obviously like even the maintenance guy was watching it, and he's like, oh, I thought you were gonna fucking beat the shit out of that guy, and he was like a big oaf looking guy, but. You know, I was like, why would I get into a fight with that guy? Like, I own
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I own
just
a
look
business
stu-
and
you look
shit.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Dude, guys, like, I can't believe you didn't roll that guy up. And like, I was thinking you were gonna go over there and be like, yo, hold my dog. And I'm like, what fantasy land do you live in that I was gonna beat
Yeah,
the guy
that's a
up?
free show
He's like,
for
well,
you.
what would you have done to him? I was like, I don't know, man. Like the guy, I'm not gonna lay a hand on him first. Like, I would just talk shit to him until he came at me. Then I'd probably just fade one and then just either tackle him or just maybe, I don't know. I thought afterwards I was like, maybe I could just do like an Imanari roll. Would you ever imagine seeing? I haven't seen any videos like that. If someone just in a street fight just hit an Imanari, like in like a grocery store or
Don't
something.
Imanari. They don't know anything. You just like lean on them and they fall
Yeah,
over.
because you don't
I know,
have to.
but if
Like
I
a guy
wanna
that-
though, but if I want to do something that's worthwhile, like I want to try to twister a guy in like Starbucks.
You
or
do
something
exactly.
like
Remember that Matt Serra video where
Yeah.
in Vegas where he's just mounted on a guy, just like
Yeah,
holding his
the
wrist,
guy's like, "Get
giggling.
off me!" Yeah, he's like, "Stop!
I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Sarah's just like giggling and
Stop!" Yeah,
Yeah, like you don't have
Bro,
to go to the twister.
settle
I
down.
just have mount.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna go that
No,
far.
you just
I
control
just
it.
have mount.
I don't
Giff,
even-
Giff gift wrap.
You're not even gonna get me that
Staple
mad
it
to
on.
make me want to do
Hold
that.
them.
To you.
Remember, I gotta get going, but I want to remember he used to say this to people all the time when he'd come in. You'd like roll with him, and JM would tap me, be like, "So you think I was the guy? You think you were gonna come in and I was gonna be the guy that was gonna choke you out or whatever?" And dude would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I don't know. You're like, seriously, you think I was the guy? You think I
Like,
could
you
choke
really
you out?
thought
Like
I was
that?
gonna be, dude. People talk so much shit. It's funny. No, but it's all good.
Yo, man, the school's
feel-
blowing up though, man. I'm pumped.
You
I can't
guys-
wait.
For jiu-jitsu school owners, you totally undervalue the strength of jiu-jitsu.
I know, but I know, I know,
you,
but-
hold on. I feel like you guys have forgot about UFC 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
I get
4.
it. I get
With the
it.
smallest
That's
guy
like- that's
who
what-
is so unathletic.
That's
Yeah.
that's jujitsu's
not
head up
even
its
good.
own ass. That's jujitsu's head up its own ass. Like in a real fight, dude. In a
Those-
real fight, I just don't. Any white guy
Were
that I
those
meet
not
out
real-
here,
those are
I'm
real
from
fights?
Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Any white guy I meet out here has a knife on him. Any white
Well,
guy
that's
out here
different.
has a
That's
gun
different.
on him.
I'm not talking about weapons.
I'll feed someone a gun. Like if you pull a gun on me or pull a knife on me, like I know enough about that shit to just be out. But I don't want to fight anyone. But I know no one's stupid enough to fight me fair. Like I've been in too many situations like where like, oh yeah, someone's gonna just fist up with me like and just we're gonna box. No, bitch, we ain't boxing. Like someone's gonna pull a gun out of their truck. You know what I mean? Or like even if I win and beat the shit out of him and embarrass him in front of everybody, that guy's still gonna want to get back on me. Like what? Dude, fighting sucks. I
And
hate
also,
fighting.
if I got into a fight like anywhere, like out in the open, my knees are probably getting scraped from hitting the concrete.
Dude,
so
yeah,
I always
I'm-
think about that.
Yeah, no one's like, oh, I got in a fight and I feel great afterwards. Never in your life, right? Not one fight you've been in have you been like, oh,
Let me take
I'm
that to the
unscathed.
grass, yeah.
Like, not once.
No,
But
he's
you're-
just saying in general, though, we would destroy all people,
dude,
which
I
is good to know.
I know that.
the canvas in the octagon destroys your knees.
Yeah.
Your knees are
I know.
skinless.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, just
That's what I'm saying.
the mat burn alone, and then you're like, people don't even understand the intensity of a fight. Like, you know, that Clint, what's that guy's name? Thunder Ranch Inc. on Instagram. He's like an old white dude. He reminds me of Simpson. He's just talking about how he
Oh,
gets
yeah.
people ready to fight people because he like was in Vietnam and stuff, and like he trains like he's a gun guy, you know. But just getting people in the mindset of like what a real fight is. Like there's UFC fight, there's jiu-jitsu match, there's combat jiu-jitsu match, and then there's like real fight in the street that, you know, his wife might kick you in the face when you got him in mount. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to get in any fights ever, you know? So like I try to just get that out of my head right away. Like I do martial arts and compete and teach because, you know, we enjoy it. We all enjoy it. We all enjoy progress, right? Like it's like a self awareness, self-actualization type vibe. You know what I mean? That's why we do it. We don't do it to fucking kill people. I could. If you come after my family, I will fucking make it my mission in life. You know what I mean? But I think most people that make it to this level that we're all at right now, like, you know, you got to be a good person because if you got evil shit in your heart, you're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna do meth somewhere in the woods. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I wish that were true. There are some shitty people who become really good fighters.
That is true, too.
Yeah. Fuck. Goddamn.
I agreed with almost everything you
Greg
said
Hardy.
until that last little piece.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like-
Greg Hardy, you piece of shit.
At least the people I fuck with. At least
Yeah.
That don't
Hey,
mean they make it in fighting.
No.
Like, because
Hey,
it's a fight game.
What
right?
happened to Mike Perry? Didn't he just do some crazy shit?
I love Mike Perry. I love that guy.
No
you know
one,
what?
No one loves Mike Perry.
I understand that guy. You know, I really understand that guy. You know, like, he's got kids and shit. Like, he don't give a fuck.
Wasn't his
dude.
leg just like bleeding? And
Yeah, he got drunk.
He
Hey,
ran through a glass
guys
window or
shouldn't be
something.
getting drunk and doing shit like that.
I mean,
but-
dude, McGregor punched an old guy in the face.
Yeah,
Remember
I
that?
know.
shit?
That was very sad. Yes.
That was super sad. Why did he hit that guy, dude? Some old guy, like,
he was buying everyone at the bar like shots of Proper 12.
yeah.
And the guy was like, "Nah, I don't drink that crap."
And that's what
He's
really
like,
happened?
I think so. That's what I heard. I mean, he just like flicked him, but
Yeah, but still, don't
still,
think about it.
you can't do that shit.
Yeah, I've seen some. Although I've had to drag a couple of my buddies out for doing distasteful things at some
Yeah,
places.
hey.
So
He does.
yeah, I mean,
that's what it does. Yeah.
you're out drinking, shit's bound to happen. But yeah,
He's probably wasted or something.
yeah, dude, McGregor's looking stacked right now. I can't wait for that shit. That's Saturday. I'm excited for that.
Fights tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's fights tomorrow. Oh shit. That's right. At noon? Oh, shit.
Agni Chiesa.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, you remember, you got to pick me up early in the morning so I get home and get some sleep. I got to take my car in. It's making some
As
weird ass noise.
Mr. Miyagi said, to go back to JM.
No.
What's going on?
Great episode. We should
You're
do
gonna
late
learn.
night
Yeah.
episodes more often.
Why train to fight? So we don't have to fight.
Yeah, I don't want to fight anyone.
Miyagi-san.
I really don't.
Yeah. Cobra Kai.
I wanna live in
Season
peace.
fucking 6. Watch that shit.
I want peace.
It's good. It's good.
We did all that, right? We did all. I mean, we're still doing it. A lot of us are still doing it, but
I've been sucker punched in the face in the street and just walked away.
I was there.
Man, I get paid to fight. I'm not fighting anybody for free unless it's like
Wow, you got
unless
punched in the
I
face.
have to defend myself or someone else, like at all costs. If you hit me and then run away, I'm not gonna chase you. That's what the guy did. Punched
Yeah.
me in the face and ran away. I was like,
But we know
Cool.
we could beat the shit out of people if we wanted to. That's the whole thing.
well, that's why we do shit like run our business when it's not when it's illegal as fuck, dude. What are you gonna do?
Well, I think I
No,
think
I
it
don't
is to a certain point though that at least
You got that. Too.
at least the neighborhood people think we're crazy, and that's good enough for me. So enough that they'll leave me alone.
Wait,
whether
let's
they
plug
believe what
everything
they
before
want.
we get out of here.
Oh yeah. Shout out to our sponsors, Sabrachi Jewelry. So if you guys are looking to get some jewelry made, we're gonna be making. I gotta get with them to make a new for the next finishers. We got to get the rings made up. Get the new finishers rings made up for that. Smooth Roots CBD. They say CBD really helps with your lungs now. That's what they're saying. It takes down inflammation in your lungs. So if you got that COVIDs 1 through 19, you
Smoking
might want to be
grab
on
bomb
that
since high
that's
school.
not, that's not how it works. It wasn't. There was not one. Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, there was. Just look into it, dude. It's pro science, man. Look into it.
Zach, what do you got?
I just smoke a bunch of bongs. No, wait, hold on. There's 2 more. Armbar
shit.
Club. Yeah, shout out to Armbar Club, dude. I got to show you. We got a new design coming from Armbar Club that kind of looks like the Bethlehem steel. It looks sick. And Rubber Guard Assassins. Check them out on Instagram. You know the deal with that shit. Anybody else want to plug some shit? Plug. Rev Gear.
If you're a fan of MMA, guys should check out Brave Combat Federation. They have some really good fights. I'm fighting in a great flyweight tournament. I don't know exactly when the next fight is. It'll be the semifinals, but it's coming up. And if you like MMA content, I just started writing for the Fight Site. They have a lot of good materials, so check them out. That's it.
Nice.
Dave.
Check out Combat Jiu-Jitsu World. It's March 21st. That's all I really got on my mind lately, you know. Yeah.
Dude, Dave's the man.
Nice.
Dave's
Hell
the man.
yeah, I
He's
can't
been
wait to
coming
see
working with
that
me and
too.
shit. I love it. Like, that's so cool, man, that like you came out to work with me, dude. Because you'd like most guys would see me as an opponent, like, oh shit, like I might have to fight JM one day, and you're just like, no, I'll go roll with JM, you know.
Thank you, man.
I don't find this guy intimidating at all. I'll go train with him.
Well, no, that's fine, I don't give a shit.
I'm just
Like,
talking shit.
I really
I'm just trying to create a conflict. I'm just trying to create a conflict.
No, I appreciate the generosity that you guys have extended to me, like giving me spots on your shows and letting me train.
Yeah,
and,
hell
and,
yeah.
Like all
Dude,
the
we
help.
do.
You've been generous with your knowledge. Like, thank you. I
Dude,
really
you're the man.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Wait, I gotta go. I'm
You
next.
didn't even do yours?
I'm
Oh, my
next
bad.
on the thing, on the wheel. All right, but yeah, what am I doing? Trainer Don't podcast. I got a baby, so I'm doing that. I teach jujitsu at 10th Planet Bethlehem on Monday nights, Tuesday nights. You know, come any night, and it's good. But other than that, what else? Mike?
Yeah, shout out Never Again Studios.
NeverEndStudio.com.
NeverAgainStudio.com, dude.
Mike's doing like 30 podcasts this week, so he's got a lot of work to do.
We're like a network. You're gonna have
He's
to
going to
subscribe to us
kickboxing
for
in the
like
morning.
$7 a month, like
Yeah.
Disney Plus.
Exactly. And if you want
Cancel
to,
your Netflix, dude,
Yeah.
and watch Never Again Radio, dude.
it's
Get
free.
your game up.
We're gonna have a Patreon eventually too, so you can like donate money and shit like that and do cool
I
stuff.
have to say also, if you guys are anywhere in the area of the Lehigh Valley, these guys are running martial arts in this area. So
Isu me brah.
Yo, put it on.
can't
Put,
go
I'm
wrong-
gonna put
you
that
can't
on
go- you can't
Instagram
go
right
wrong
there.
with
I'm gonna put that on Instagram right there.
He also is gonna be on payroll, so he knows what's up.
Hey, but that's fine. Yo,
even if I'm not,
Thank
even
you,
if
man.
you guys
he's
are
not.
killing it. You
Appreciate
guys
it.
are killing
even
it.
if he's not.
We're trying.
You're
We're just
killing
gonna
it.
keep it going, dude. We're all killing it, man. That's the thing. Like nowadays, the way it is, bro. It's either you can either sit home and cry about it, or you just got to go out and make moves. I'm still gonna bitch. I'm still gonna, diss the Pennsylvania state government online on Facebook just to piss my family off. But I'm still gonna go out and do stuff. I'm still gonna go do stuff. So it's up to you, man. That's all I got to say, man. It's up to you, people. Do it.
We should do a political debate next podcast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we didn't even
I
get
can't
into
do
that.
2-on-1, not 2-on-1 though.
Yeah.
1 at a time.
Hey,
I'm.
when you come to 10th Planet Bethlehem, you gotta make it through me and Zach, dude. Like that, you might tap one of us, but you won't get both.
Yeah,
You won't get both.
not in the same time.
We've
It's
been doing
gonna
that
be
for
tough.
years.
Yeah, it's a two-headed monster.
For some reason, all the weird QAnon people I have met in person are all somehow affiliated with a 10th Planet.
I know. There are a lot of guys.
are,
there.
yeah, it's bad.
There are a lot of guys.
It's a weird coincidence.
I'm like a 10th Planet moderate. You know what I mean? I'm hardcore 10th Planet, but I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're like centrists.
yeah,
10
we're
planet
centrist. 10th Planet centrist. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like the far left, dudes who are like, bro, like we got to be inclusive to everybody, man. That's like the whole certain 10 planets. And then there's other ones that are like, nah, fuck that. If they're not down with Trump, fuck them, bro. Out, bro. Trump's coming down. He's arresting everybody tomorrow. And I'm just like, listen, like not everybody's coming to my school, and that's definitely not happening. So I voted for him on tax purposes. And that's clearly not happening. So welcome to.
You're for sure it's not happening?
Taxes. It's not happening.
I'm so upset it's not happening,
what do you mean
dude.
it's not happening.
You're telling me that you're not at all upset that Biden's not getting arrested tomorrow?
Well, I mean, I kind of figured Biden wasn't getting arrested ever before because
I heard
no
that
one.
Biden isn't even really Biden no more. I heard he's a clone. There's a Biden clone.
You sound like a
That's
far
it.
right,
He's
far right
if you
10 planets,
Google-
dude.
If you Google Biden 2004 and Biden 2020, he looks like a different motherfucker, dude. Look him up.
For the record,
He might be.
there's nothing that makes me more happy than Trump is out. And if Biden is a clone, that also makes me happy.
Well, listen, Biden, it doesn't matter because no one's ever gone to jail and no one ever will. They've been telling me they had a video of Hillary Clinton cutting up a fucking baby since 96. It ain't happening, dog. No one's getting arrested. Welcome to more taxes. You know what I mean? Welcome to more taxes. That's
Dude,
all I
they
can
have-
say is you're going to be
they
paying
have
more
the-
taxes. That's it. But you know what, though?
Sorry.
I bet the people in Pakistan can find out whether they're a man or a woman. It's fine. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Biden's going to, it's a classic, dude, it's the same shit. It's the same, we're going to let go of $30,000 worth of student loans. People are like, oh, that's cool. And no, it's only $10,000. Now it's not happening. Everyone does that. It's a whole political thing. Nothing ever happens. The whole thing was a trick. Nobody's coming to save you. Just get your guns, oil them, and just do your own fucking thing. Run martial arts school. You know what I mean? Run a fucking podcast thing. Be a pro fighter. Like, you're going to sit around and worry about all that shit. It's not happening. It's cool to look into when you're bored and you're like, oh, cool, man. That's pretty
out.
sweet.
I freak out.
You know what I mean?
I'm holding
I'm just like,
Benjamin
wait,
like
they're
this.
taking our fucking guns?
And I'm
It's not happening.
freaking out.
They're
Like,
taking their
what the
guns.
fuck?
It's not, the only thing that's going to happen is the rich are going to get richer, and that's it.
Boom.
You know?
The system is fucked. We all agree in a very
Yeah, we're
weird,
fucked.
weird
What
life.
did we do?
Hey, it's all love.
What do we do?
All love for you guys.
There's nothing you can do. Run martial arts schools, travel, do your thing. You know what I mean? So shout out to you guys, man. Let's just all keep working hard and we'll see where we take this shit. Mike, thanks again. And we out. Peace.
I believe it.